Welcome, everybody, to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. We're continuing our Los Angeles series, Hollywood Halcus. And we get some of our favorites from LA, and I'm pumped to have on the couch Jon Gabrus.
Oh, pumped.
Thanks for being here, dude.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't believe we're in the same location.
It feels wrong, right?
There's like 9 bear chasers / podcast freaks who are so hyped for this. Yeah.
There's one guy. There's one gay podcast fan that this would be. He'd get so hard, dude.
He's the one who responds to my pics on the toilet with, "I wish that was me." Yeah, I read those message requests and I don't respond.
There's a guy, and I don't know if I should keep talking. He probably does. I legit think he doesn't speak English. But my most recent gay guy that wants to fuck me is, I believe, a Turkish guy that's just been blowing me. Every story gets a response. It is funny to know, just have a little piece of what an insanely hot woman goes through.
I have since talked to girls that I know. I'm like, I get it. I can only imagine what it's like for you.
We get 1% of it.
Yeah.
But like, I imagine that 100 times a day.
I know it, and I understand. For a woman might have a hard time. I get a slash of flattery out of it because I'm not getting like chicks posting their tits like, "Oh, I love your podcast."
Yes,
I get like some dude who's like, "Fuck me, daddy," and I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like, I just be like, it feels good to be attractive.
Yes.
Or some girl will be like, "You remind me of my husband," and I'll like click through and look at her husband, and I'll be like, "Fuck you." Fuck you.
That's a real tough one.
That's mean.
Yes.
I know. I look like that, but I drink water.
Yeah. Well, it is that'll happen to me where I'll be at a show and a woman's being very flirty, but in a way that I'm like, she's being so flirty, but some of my spider sense is like, I can't fuck this woman. It's like I could just tell. And then I'm like, what's going on here though? She's even like touching an arm. And then I'm like, as I'm trying to put it together, the fattest guy you've ever seen in the world comes up and like grabs her by the waist and is like, "We love the show, bro." And it's like, that's what it is.
Sometimes they're like honey trapping you as like for their husband, the fan.
Dude, yes,
they're like, "Oh shit, I have blue hair and my tits are out." And they're like, "Hey, Stavvy,
you should get a drink with us."
Yeah, and they come over and her husband, who looks like you, like your before picture, is like, "I'm a huge fan." And you're like, "Oh fuck." Is he a big fat podcaster?
Dude, a couple of the first tours I went on, how many like one fucking Moscow mule I had to sit through when I got like a DM. It's like a girl. It's a picture like, come meet us for a drink. I don't think who the us is. I just see like a hot woman.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this bitch and a girl that's even hotter than her. All I have to do is go meet them for a drink, and it's fully. Sometimes it's 5 guys, and she's not even there. She's like, "All right, well, I'll see you guys later. I've done my due diligence here."
The only worst fan interaction in the list, I should say listener interaction, because I don't know if they're actually fans, because the way they behave, they'll come up and be like, "You're a fat fucking pig and your dead father hates you." And it's like, wait, no. That's how I talk about myself.
Right.
For entertainment.
Yes.
Whispering that to me is absolutely traumatizing.
I don't know you at all.
I know. You're probably because your little dick and big gut is a terrible problem, right? I'm like, yo.
Fuck you, man. I don't know you. We're not friends. And I will you'll make me. I'll get my ass kicked, but I'll swing on you if you keep.
I'm ready to
if
get
you
jumped.
keep doing this, dude. I will fucking swing on you. Yeah, dude, it is fucking hilarious. But I love. Yeah, thanks for being here, because this does. We've never met in person. Actually, I've been a fan for a long time.
Same.
Back in the day of the I'm sure you get this all the time, but starting with Gino Lombardo, of course, when I was at my paralegal job where I did nothing, where I truly was listening to podcasts. One day I listened to an 8-hour podcast about the Roman Empire. Just the whole day. Didn't pause once, right? And that's where the first time, this was like years ago. This must have been like when you were just on that. And then I've been following you ever since. And it does feel like, it feels like now that the Spider-Verse or like the multiverse is like a concept everybody understands.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel like we're multiverse versions of each other.
It totally does. It does feel crazy that this is our first time overlapping. It's like we were both walking backwards and bumped into each other. And we're like, what are you doing on this case? The FBI sent me. Well, the LAPD sent me.
Right. No, absolutely.
I've been a fan for a long time too.
Thanks, man.
Truly, someone was like, you and Stavvy are long lost brothers. Just someone sent that text to me and I had no context. I'm like, what do you mean? And then I clicked through, searched, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mediterranean cousins. That's for sure.
Our lives took slightly different paths. Like because you've been like married forever, right? Like
I've been with the same chick since college. For over 20 years.
College.
Now.
Wow.
We started dating junior year of college.
Holy shit! Where'd you go to school?
I went to Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is like a feeder from Catholic high schools in the tri-state. All the coolest guys. It's just a million chicks named some version of Christina, Christine, Kristen, Kirsten, Chrissy, Kiri, and they all just are PR majors.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. And you were both there. That's where you found love.
Yeah, we found love in Intro to Communications, which the irony when we're in couples therapy, we met as communications majors, and now we cannot figure it out.
Yeah, dude. That's because I always think about that, where I'll be like, oh, what if I had just met a wonderful woman in college and I wouldn't have to be this fucking pathetic, constantly trying to get pussy guy. Like, I'd literally look at you, I'm like, is that what my life would be like?
It would be like that. You'd be just chasing, your new pussy would be validation.
Yeah. Well,
you'd be like, I got the pussy on lock.
We got that too. I don't got that either.
Yeah,
so.
It was a crazy experience being in my early 20s. Like, I ended up bonding with like my buddy Adam Pally because he also had a long-term girlfriend that's now his wife. So we were like the only two 20-somethings that had like 5-year girlfriends.
Yeah, dude.
So we were like, we don't want to go out to the bar after. We want, our wives are here. Let's go get dinner or whatever.
Right.
So then we ended up, and then I always felt like kind of mature. And now I'm so glad I wasn't single in my 20s in the early aughts. I'd be like, there'd be like a Reddit thread about me. You would have to end up putting in a notes apology and then a donation to some fucking cause after you.
I'd have to fucking do like I would have to do direct to camera self-held apology. I did not know about the allegations.
We're taking down all the clips and then we are donating to. I keep wanting to say a charity, but then it's gonna make you seem like I'm telling on myself.
What
Rwandan genocide or whatever. It's like, what did he do?
I just heard about the events in the UCB green room in 2008. I had no idea.
He's being called the Coney of UCB. What does that mean he did?
Well, they did have a child's improv class, and he trained them up into a militia. He also fucked a couple of them. Coney style. Yeah, dude. No, because you were. Yeah, I mean, I could see that you're just a little older, and you are from Long Island.
Yeah,
so,
which is its own form of trash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you would have been susceptible to minor sex crimes.
Oh yeah.
If you were not in a relationship.
If iPhones existed.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I dodged such a bullet. I remember when my buddy got a digital camera, like a Canon ELPH 3.2 megapixels. It was like $500. We were like 20. This is 2002. And he's like, bro, it's the best. Blackout prevention. And I was like, huh? And he'd be like, look at last night. And we'd be like, oh, like it was like the first. And then I was once smartphones came around. You're like, this is why you have to take selfies. Like, for the next day, I'm like, oh shit, we were at McCoy's Steakhouse.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, that is a nice. I guess you did just catch it before the ubiquity.
When people talk
iPhones.
about that elder millennial shit of like being, that just means you printed up black and white JPEGs of naked chicks and jerked off to them. Dad's like, are you still using the computer? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I have a science project tomorrow.
It's just Jenny McCarthy standing topless, no background. Because if it had a background, it would be like, eat all the ink. Who the fuck ate all the fucking ink? Yeah.
You taught yourself how to use MS Paint solely to remove backgrounds so you could print tits easier.
Like that is just such a specific time in technology when I was like, yes, you can find pornographic images online, but I still can't jerk off at the family computer.
Right.
So I have to like print and then hide. So it's like the bridge between magazines and Pornhub.
I jerked off at the family computer.
Oh, I eventually got into I used to, we had like the first big screen I've ever seen when we moved at 14 to one of those, like you can't have you can't have the shades open when you try to watch it because it's like barely, it's like just a low lamp that makes it. It's like, and it's like 700 pounds.
Yes.
And it had a VCR on top of it. And this was the era of VHS porn. And we would have one in the neighborhood. So if you were like staying home sick from school, you'd be like, hey, Dennis, leave it behind your pool. And you'd have to like sneak out, get the VHS set, bring it back to your house while your parents are at work. And I was beaten off so much to VCR porn that there was a blue screen that said auto tracking. I gave myself like a Pavlovian hard on to the like point when I would like rent a movie with my family and put in a movie and say auto tracking. My body would be like, let's fucking
your
go.
dick would start getting hard.
Yeah.
That's fuck. You're about to watch An Officer and a Gentleman with your mom, and your dick is getting hard.
My dad's like, are you hard at the beginning of Commando again?
It's just beautiful the life he's carved out with his
poor
daughter.
Poor Alyssa Milano. I hope she's okay.
This is a boner of fear for the child.
For what might happen.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. So and do you remember what the porno was? Was it a specific one?
There was two that we had in the neighborhood for a long time, and it was Passenger 69 Part 2. Which featured honestly, it might have been shot in this studio. It featured a fake 69 on a parachute scene. So it was like they were 69ing with just two ropes going off camera and audible fans blowing on them as if they were skydiving with it. It was so awesome. And it's so funny. We had the two removed from a good porno, you know what I mean? Where I would have killed to just have like, it's 4 different sex scenes. Instead, the other one we had in the neighborhood was called E3, the extra testicle. And it was like
a joke porno.
Yeah, it was like a joke porno. It was like the one thing that we could jerk off to had the main character be a blue guy. And I'm so, this is so.
And was it a guy whose dick was coming through the blue thing?
Yes, it's so crazy that you bring this up. I remember nothing about the porno except they do one like special effects close up of his dick, and it's like blue and pulsing with like glowing and stuff like that, and it's all fake, like a big like it looks like the aggro crag on Guts or something. It's like there's like a fucking atmosphere and dry ice or something. And I'm like,
it's steaming off.
And you're like, I just want to see titties. Now I gotta like be triggered by a blue fucking glowing dick.
And they were like, legally had to make him blue too. They're like, can't be brown.
Can't be brown.
It's
We got sued by Spielberg again. We gotta lose the Reese's Pieces in the girl's asshole part.
No, they can't be Skittles either. Too close.
We can't say taste the rainbow when he comes out with shit all over his face.
You can do dots. We negotiated. We can get dots. That's it.
Yeah, well, we know it looks like toilet paper when it's in her ass. We can't help that.
No, Raisinets won't work. They'll look like shit. Come on, man. We had my dad's porno that we found was Loose Times at Ridgely High.
Oh,
so I also had like a novelty porno, and it was just very, there was obviously the Spicoli character is really the only one
who gets
they parodied. Everything else was just like it's just high school chicks.
Well, yeah, there's like a weird abortion scene.
They kept that.
A lot of stuff you can do.
They keep the fucking harrowing abortion scene. Where you're like, I remember being a kid and being like, nice. There's probably, I remember like you hear about you see in what's her face's the famous Phoebe Cates is like, I'm like, yes, dude, I see your fucking tits. Spicoli's hilarious. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm so bummed to see this movie, and then that girl like gets. Not exactly assaulted, but like enough. It's like weird. It's like an old guy taking advantage of an older guy.
It doesn't let you enjoy. Dude, the amount of movies from our childhood, like we watch a lot of old movies on Action Boys, my podcast, and
Action Boys is great, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
I don't like to listen to comedy podcasts.
Understand.
But I got into like and then I was like listening to a lot of sports stuff, but then I got really into like I was just watching so many movies over the last year. I took time off touring, and I was just looking for shit to like, I was just trying to find stuff, and I didn't even know you did it because it was, Patreon, I guess, and it's kind of like. But I found the like the ones you put out for free.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking funny. You guys are fucking hilarious.
Oh, thank you,
It's
man.
like so now every time I'll just like, if I watch an action movie just for fun, I'll be like, I will, like a couple days later, be like, I wonder if they checked it out. And I'm on the Patreon now, I'll just search it. So I don't listen chronologically, but I'm like, because I feel like we have very similar taste in movies.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So whenever I just happen to watch fucking, like we just watched, what did we just watch, Eldis? With Harrison Ford?
Oh, Air Force One.
Air Force One. And I was
get
like,
off
there's
my
no
plane.
way they haven't done Air Force
Yeah,
One.
of course.
And then I was like, all right, hell yeah, dude.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so
to
anyway,
hear.
but yeah, it's a
Thank
great
you.
podcast.
But you watch a lot of these old movies and you're like, I remember there being titties in this movie when I was a kid, and then the titties are during like a sexual assault or rape. And you're like, oh, wait a
She's
minute.
being held hostage. She's scared.
Yeah, could that have really fucked my brain up so the times I saw tits in movies were attached to violence against women.
Yeah, it's very possible.
And I'm always like, that gives me a hard on, but now when I watch it, I'm like, this is like, they're cutting her shirt off?
Yeah. Is this why everyone's choking?
Yeah.
Is this
dude,
why everyone who's this age is choking?
I don't want to get political, but it does feel like everyone in power grew up on these movies but didn't understand like detachment. Or there are people who are like on the cops and Rambo's side.
Yes. I know.
There are people who are like, Tony Soprano is right.
He's awesome. And Back to Blue, by the way.
My favorite guy is a mafia guy and also the cops. Cool.
That is
Complex,
fucking,
you contain multitudes.
you're so
guy in
smart,
backwards
dude.
hat.
Yeah.
I don't have one. I'll do it though.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Folks, you know what I want you to do? Create an oasis with Thuma, a modern design company that specializes in furniture and home goods. They strip away everything but the essential. Okay? Thuma makes elevated beds with premium materials and intentional details. I have one of these myself, and I love it. Look, we don't have very many scruples on this show. We'll advertise quite a bit of stuff. That's why this is almost like a double advertisement, because we're taking their money and reading the advertisement, but I also truly love this product. Here's how much I love a Thuma so much. I bought the bed. I had a completely blank wall, and I designed the rest of my room around the Thuma. I have some of their furniture, but the bed, I love the bed so much. I was like, this is so simple, looks so good, provides some support for a plus-size man like me. The assembly took 5 minutes. It's nice. It's easy. They use Japanese joinery pieces are crafted from solid wood and precision cut for a silent, stable foundation. They look beautiful. The minimalist design is so nice. I love it. I love Thuma truly. I think you should use Thuma. I actually believe in this product. And I want you to get it right now. So to get $100 towards your first bed purchase, go to thuma.co/Stavvy, Stavvy. That's thuma.co/Stavvy to receive $100 off your first bed purchase. Get Thuma. I mean, that's Long Island to a T, though.
Yeah, as
It's
being
like-
a 42-year-old guy with a backwards hat and shorts on.
and being like, the cops are awesome.
Dude, cops were the most aspirational job of my generation. Like, in the 80s and 90s, the stereotype was like, you got to be a doctor or a lawyer. But on
Yeah.
Long Island, it's like a Suffolk County cop actually makes 6 figures. That's like widely known. The Suffolk County cops are the highest paid cops like in America.
Interesting.
And we lived in Nassau, which is a little trashier. But my family would be like, you could be a Suffolk cop. Acting like that was like going to grad school or something. It's like 2 years of college.
Yeah.
You get a gun and 6
You
figures.
get a gun, you get all the overtime you want. You work at Giant as security, basically shake them down. You just stand there and beat a kid who shoplifts candy to fucking...
And your kid will just be the worst behaved kid in school because he knows he can't get in like too much trouble.
Yeah.
Like always, all the cops kids in my school would be like the speeders. The guys would be like, I'll go pick up all... Well, the one thing you'd like about them is like, I'll go buy all the beer. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got that PBA card.
Of course, dude. And
You're Sergeant so-and-so. You're Sergeant Nunzio's kid. This was Long Island. Sergeant Feldman and Sergeant Nunzio's kids are here.
I know. I love how cops act like justice and the law is like working at Cold Stone and giving yourself an extra scoop of ice cream. You're like, yeah, I can drunk drive. I'm a cop. I work at the drunk driving store. I'm allowed to let myself drunk drive a little bit.
Dude, I know cops who just drive on the shoulder in full traffic, like on the highway. They're just
going nowhere.
It's fine. It's like, I just want to go to the gym. I want to go take Tren and do curls.
If I don't shrug in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to hit my wife harder when I get home.
I gotta get to 24-hour fitness and then get home in time because my son's private batting coach is coming over.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. I mean, it just is so funny that childhood must have been like a very funny, because Long Island just is such a. Being a New York City suburb is such a funny thing to be.
It's
because you're so
crazy.
close to New York, and it is truly a fully different world.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of famous comedians come out of there: Eddie Murphy, Jerry Seinfeld, Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
Tim Dillon used to say it's 45 minutes away and 45 years behind New York City, and it really is. It just like it's
awesome.
full of a bunch of people who go like, "Why would I go to New York City?"
Yeah,
you're like, "Oh, because it's a place where people fly from all over the world to visit because it's like an amazing, like one of the top cities in the universe." And they're like, "But I got a Thai restaurant right here, you know, in Manhasset." You're like,
I got a Thai restaurant. They got the best teriyaki I ever had.
Yeah. That's like my fucking. I'm going to leave out family members' names, but like my brother eats like chicken tempura sushi. I'm like, that's a chicken tender with rice on it.
I know.
Why would I go to the city? Like it just, to me, it was so crazy. I moved to Brooklyn. My family thought it was crazy that I lived in Brooklyn. They were like, you could live at home and just drive in. And I'm like, no, you cannot.
Yeah.
I can't like get coffee. Like I want to live this. I want to live like a city life.
It is very funny because it's like that's not true of any of the other suburbs. If you go to like fucking Westchester, it feels like what you would assume New York suburbs are. It's
right.
like, you know, like people just got tired of living in the city, even parts of Jersey. But yeah, truly, Long Island is like, how did you get all the culturally worst parts of New York?
Yes, and
then,
none of the progressive, none of the interesting, none of the art scene.
It's like you bred it with Ohio. No disrespect, Eldis, but you bred like the parts of Queens that voted for Trump with fucking like Cincinnati, right. And you're like, yep, we're gonna fucking. This is where we're fucking go. Actually, that might be disrespectful to Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, I think Cincinnati is rightfully
it's actually kind of nicer.
Point.
We had a good time in Cincinnati. Yeah, I don't even know what the crossbreed is. But.
Yeah, Long Island in the 80s and 90s, it was fucking crazy. It was like, I like not a lot of comedians or the circles I run in at the soft ass like improv groups. Yeah, no one was like. I was like, you didn't get like jumped all the time? And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, I just jumped all the time. They're like, how? I'm like, I don't know why.
It just happened.
My last name is Gabrus. And my high school football coach, who was also a history teacher.
Love that.
My nickname was Gay Boy. The gym teacher called me Grab Ass. And the fucking dean of admissions called me garbage. There's 3 adult men who bullied me. If I didn't fucking shoot up my school, I had to do comedy. Or else I was gonna fucking once Columbine happened, I saw a lot of people in my school be like, okay,
interesting. If only there was a way to get guns not from black people, because we are racist.
But, we're still racist. Yeah.
Like in their heads, they're like, well, the only way I can get a gun is if I talk to a minority. That's the only thing stopping me from shooting up the school. That's fucking hilarious, dude. So you grow up there in the you're growing up there, and how many? You have brothers, right?
I have 2 younger brothers.
Oh, you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest of 3, and my dad was a stagehand and my mom was a nurse, so they worked create the weird hours, not the traditional school hours.
Ooh.
So we were like fucking loose children.
Loose to go.
We were feral.
That's
me and my brother
awesome.
are 3 years apart, and then we have another brother who's 7 or 8 years younger than me.
Okay.
And so we had we would be like fully experimenting on this kid. I bet you if we put the hamper upside down with him in it, he can't get out. When I talk about some of the shit we did, I see my therapist, like I talk like it's funny, and he's like, and so where was your parents during this? I'm like, oh, they were gone for like 12 hours. They're like, I was like, oh yeah, me and my brother, we had a set of lacrosse gloves. One was left, one was right. My brother was a lefty, I was a righty. What'd we do? Tie our other hands together and just fight with one glove each. Just straight up tie these 2 hands together with a karate belt because it was Dude,
Ooh, Long Island karate, dude.
You had to. I had a Korean war vet, an Italian guy who had USMC tattooed on his knuckles, and he was my karate. He was my sensei.
Did
Sensei
he have
Nick.
Sensei Nick
In his garage.
That's fucking awesome.
Wait, here's the fucking beater.
Elvis, do we have a fucking sandbag? Sorry,
yeah,
just to
sorry,
get you
that's
going.
okay.
No, it's all good. Kip, tell me about Sensei Nick, bro.
Sensei Nick was this straight like Ginzo gangster dude, Korean war vet, USMC on his, and me and my brother started taking Taekwondo there because he was like a local Freeport guy, and that was like where all my relatives were from.
I love that he picked up Taekwondo. That is the Korean martial art.
Yes, right.
So he's
like
in
learned
Korea.
it in Korea. Yeah. And he's like, I'll bring it back and teach it to the worst kids I've ever met. I will teach some of the worst bullies in Long Island. On Long Island, I will teach them how to fight.
I will empower these bullies. Yeah.
I will give these two kids the ability to kick each other in the face when they're home alone. But the worst part is, like, just as we got old enough to think it was gay and we didn't want to do it anymore, my dad started doing it. After driving us to and from, he got so into it that towards the end of our time there, he started off with the adult class.
That's
Then we were like
hilarious.
16, thinking that the fact that we did karate was corny,
Yeah.
going to my dad's black belt test
Oh,
in a
no.
VFW.
Oh, no. Your dad's fucking fully breaking fucking...
Yep. I've got a picture on my
Oh, here we go.
Instagram.
Here comes Mysterious Mo
Here
with
comes
the
my father.
sandbag. We'll blur your face out, Mo. Don't worry. Blur out his hands, too. I don't want them knowing what race he is.
Yeah, that's why we nicknamed him Mo. It's like one of those. It could be anything.
Mo really could be anything, truly. I would not be surprised. Could be a little gay Asian guy. Could be the fattest black guy you ever met in your life.
Could be short for Muhammad.
It's
squared
everything.
away,
There's
yeah.
Italians. I know Greeks named Mo.
Oh hell yeah! Mo is a
Everything.
very common name.
Mo
yeah.
Mo can fucking. It's like that guy. It's like those like Hispanic guys that also play Taliban guy. You know what I mean? Like Mo is one of those like you can do whatever with Mo, dude.
There's that dude who's in Training Day who's played like I think he's actually like Polynesian.
Yes,
and
yes, and he's played
like every
Mexicans.
minority gangster.
Yes.
I wish
I know
I-
that guy. I know exactly the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, we went to my
That's
dad's
so
black belt test. He's breaking bricks and shit. There was a demonstration. This is one of the like my core memories of my childhood. There was a demonstration by a second degree black belt who we only knew as Joey, and he had a blonde curly mullet, and he did commas, which are those little sticks with like the hooked blade that look like sickles. He did 2 of those. He did a routine set to Snap's "I Got the Power." Which was a song from Perfect Weapon, in which Jeff Speakman does that with 2 sticks to a couch. So it was like he's like clearly doing a movie reference. Like it's so fucking funny, and he's like. And it was like
He's nice with it.
And now I'm like, fuck. Why didn't I just stick with karate? forever?
Yeah.
Like that
That'd
would be such
so
a cool
funny.
thing. I do take martial arts again. Which
You're
is
back.
Yeah,
You're back in the zone, dude.
I've got to the point in my life where I've started caring less about succeeding in the industry and more about like gaining levels, like I'm some sort of RPG character.
Yeah. You're doing side quests.
Yep. I'm
You're
gonna learn Spanish and Jeet Kune Do this year.
Yeah. I'm Link and I'm fishing all day.
Right, exactly.
Fuck figuring out the puzzles. I'm fucking making stews.
Yeah, that was like I got like Skyrim and Vaporizer at the same week when I lived in Brooklyn and I was unemployed, and my wife would come out and I'd be like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making gloves. She's like, what? I'm like, I made like 40 gloves. It's like 3 a.m. And I'm like, she's like I see it in her face, and she's like, you don't even like work this hard on anything in real life.
You became a glove merchant, essentially.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm imagining, I'm like, I could probably have learned how to actually make gloves in real
100%.
life at this point.
You could have been making bespoke gloves for yourself.
Or at least walked on a treadmill.
Yeah. That's so fucking. Yeah, that's so. It's funny to think about that going through that era with a wife. You know what I mean? Because I know I went through it with Eldest on our couch in Queens. Where I'm just fucking playing Red Dead Redemption high as shit. But it's like I can't even imagine the woman I'm spending my life with seeing me like that.
Especially
over and
she had
over
like
again.
a full-time corporate job at the time. It was like so. I was like having like a lifestyle affair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I had a second family, but that family was just me.
Yes,
Where I'd be like, No, while you were gone today, I went to the coffee shop. I wrote. I had that commercial audition. Me, mom, just like, all I had to do was make sure no shit was out when she got home, and it would just be like, "How was your day?" I'm like, like
tough.
Yeah,
I don't even want to get into it.
5 hours of Diablo 2. Yeah, I know. I don't need to get into how my rogue is gaining levels through the roof. I finally got the 4th piece of armor that links up in the green set, and I'm Gucci for at least another 10 levels. What the fuck? Yeah, sorry, I was in the middle of StarCraft 2 when the weed delivery guy came, and I know our downstairs neighbor's a DEA agent, so I panicked, and then we lost. My clan is all mad at me. And instead, I'm just like, "How's your day?" Good. Yeah, got a lot of stuff. I got that. I heard back an email from an agent.
The email from a manager.
Oh, dude, the time is when I was younger, the amount of time I would spend crafting emails, and I'd be like, and conclusively, would you think like, I'm like writing it like it's a business. And I'm like, here are 7 things I wanted to just, and like they just write back like, yes, let's talk about it.
Sounds good. Sent from my BlackBerry.
Yes, exactly. You spend like 40 minutes going like, "Dear sir," I better have a joke. I seem too serious here. It's your fat fuck guy that pitched you. Like, way too self-deprecating. I can't believe you even want to read my stupid fuking idea. Yeah. Here you go. It was always just like, it's about a Long Island scumbag who blanks.
But guess what? He's got a fucking heart of gold.
The thing about him, his heart is gold. He actually loves his mom.
The twist on him is he's in a Long Island tan who loves his mother. That's what makes this a little bit different. They're like, "Oh, great. You'll definitely, that's a great idea."
We have not seen that.
Yeah. Dude, I'm still stuck on your dad getting into karate afterwards.
My dad got really into karate, and he's the one who got me into action movies.
Okay.
He took us to see T2 when it came out, and I would have been maybe 11.
Hell,
and I've seen it in the theater,
dude.
and I'm like, fuck, it ripped.
That must have been fucking awesome.
Dude, this is in the era too where having seen T2 was like social currency.
Yeah.
Like you go back to school and you can just talk about T2 to the kids who haven't seen it.
Believe me, my mom was very strict about shit that we could see. And so that was it. South Park was big when I was in 3rd grade.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, and I remember we just could not. You could not, my mom would not allow, she just knew about South. For some reason, if something hit the news in the outrage cycle, my mom picked it up.
Right, and that's all she had was like some Tipper Gore
Totally. And she could, there were a lot of blind spots, but if something got in there, and South Park was the fucking coolest thing. It was like cursing and it was a cartoon. And so I remember I did so much pretending I had seen Terminator and South Park.
You got
and
it.
Just like, "Oh yeah, I love that." Like somebody would make something up. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was my favorite part too." And it was like, "Oh yeah, I love when they kill Kenny every episode." Not sure if that happens.
I had a friend like that who whatever movie you saw, he also saw, and his favorite part was something from the trailer. So I thought it was so sick when he said, "I'll be back." You're like, okay, that's one of 90 seconds that they show on TV.
Dude, when he was wearing sunglasses, I fucking love that.
The sunglass part is sick.
I couldn't get over the fucking leather jacket. Oh man, it's just so much good stuff.
My dad was so into these action movies, and he got us into them, and of course all the martial arts movies of the times, like the Van Dammes and the Seagals. But then my dad like accidentally, I don't know about accidentally, but unbeknownst to us at least, started like adopting a lot of Seagal mannerisms. He definitely like aspired to be him. There was a period of time where my dad had his hair pulled back into a rubber band in like the mid 90s. He's like 50. He's got a beard, and I'm not exaggerating, starts whispering all the time.
Oh my God.
He like starts getting into like talk soft, carry big stick, Seagal shit. And I remember a fight with my mom, him fighting with my mom, where my mom's like, "What? What are you saying, hon? I can't hear you." Jesus Christ, you think you're fucking Steven Seagal? And he got so, like, my dad was so mean, and he got so mad at that.
Because
he would always just be like, "Johnny, Johnny. And like you're in the car and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm all the way in the back of the minivan. I can't fucking hear you. Johnny, you want to go to a pizza parlor tonight? I'm like, why are you talking like that?
Holy fuck.
My dad was one of those like.
That's incredible.
Yeah. He was like a crazy alpha guy who would always be like, you know, wouldn't sit with his back to a door at a restaurant.
Yeah,
you know,
he's got to survey all the exits.
Yeah, he was like, he's like, if you ever in a fight, Johnny, you hit the biggest guy first and see if they can sort it out after that. And I'm like, okay, if I'm ever getting jumped by multiple guys in prison, thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
And then like some of the shit came in handy. Like I remember one thing he always told me was like, if you're ever gonna wail on a guy, don't put your fingers like this. You can sprain all 8 fingers. And I remember being like, thank you. Yeah. And then like one day I'm fighting this fucking like weird freak in school, and I just do like double hammer fists, and I was like, yeah.
But
Thanks,
like, he was
Dad.
worried you would try and hit him like this?
Yeah, he said he axe handled someone like that when he was a kid and like broke like 3 of his fingers. It's like,
What was he? Did he grow up on Long Island too?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
My dad was.
How many generations Long Islander are we talking?
Dude, here's the exclusively. It goes back like because my dad's side of the family, this is where it gets complicated. My dad doesn't know his real dad. He left him when he was young. But my dad's mom was like only educated up to like second. This is my grandma, only educated up to 2nd grade. Now, this isn't like the antebellum South. This is like 1940s New York.
Holy shit.
She was, they lived on the last like potato farm on Long Island.
Wow.
My dad's side of the family is so special. It's like, it is like, I should write like a Running with Scissors David Sedaris book about it, but it wouldn't even be funny. Like people would be like, "That's okay, man." Like, we're all proud of you, and you can read.
Yeah. Holy shit! Yeah. And they were like, what? Immigrated to Long Island?
Yeah, I don't know because they were all also like crazy liars.
Oh wow!
My mom's side came from Naples, Italy, in like the early 1900s, late 1800s or whatever.
Wow.
But they're all stagehands in New York, which is like if the Irish are to cops in New York, Italians are to stagehands. It's like a mafia adjacent
That's their
job.
union. That's the union job they got.
It's like longshoremen and stagehands. Like
interesting.
All of my cousins are all like. I work off Broadway. I'm doing the Amazing John. I went to see the Amazing Jonathan for free.
That's awesome.
Because my uncle was doing the
That's
grips.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
So you probably have like a Ginzo cousin that's like working on Cola Scola's Mary Todd Lincoln.
I guarantee someone in the Valentino Empire. Dude, I have so many
awesome,
I have so many cousins that have a name that just ends in Y. You know, I got like 6 Nickies, Tommies, Johnnies, Joeys.
That's
like
awesome.
everyone like that. And so they're all stagehands on that side. Then my dad's side is all just like some sort of welfare scam.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the house where on Thanksgiving when I was like 11, the police came and in riot gear and broke up like a full blown family
Riot
rumble.
gear.
Yeah, like they had like the helmets and like the shields and the sticks.
Oh my God.
Arresting like my dad and uncles.
The family fucking.
It was a full-blown-
The family fight. And what are they arguing about?
Someone pantsed my grandfather and he started crying. And he was a German immigrant. And he was an alcoholic. Like they were all alcoholics. Obviously, there's an umbrella of alcoholism over here.
Of course.
And my grandpa got pants and he started crying. And my dad, I guess it was one of the uncles did it. My dad like attacked him. And they're like, let's take this shit outside.
Oh my God.
And then he's like one of 6. So all of a sudden, like, it was like a brother rumble.
Yes.
But they're that level of trash where they're like, this is my friend Marty. He lived on a bunk bed with us in this house for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like, what? And he's like, that guy's in the fight. And it's like, there's like just 50-year-old men.
Love that, dude.
A distinct thing I remember was my father kicking the shit out of his little brother, my uncle. And then I was like, Dad, that was crazy. You were punching Uncle. Leave names out of this. Punching Uncle in the face like dozens of times. He's like, he's lucky because I could have kicked him. And that's what my dad said. Like, I treated my little brother right by just punching him in the face in front of his kids and mine.
Yeah. We're making some real memories there. Dude, pantsing your father and he starts crying and then you fight your brothers over it is fucking insane.
It's aspirational
dude.
almost. It's like,
no, you're right. You're right what you said about the fact that it's like that your family even figured it out. Is incredible. Right. That your dad just held down a job. I guess your mom got him the stagehand job?
Yeah, my mom's dad told my dad, if you get a GED, cut your hair. I'll get you a job, and then you can marry my daughter.
Wow.
And my dad was like, fuck it, you know.
Nice.
My mom was a little bit of like an Italian American princess.
Sure,
like, you know, they had like
sure.
the plastic furniture.
Yes.
And like, you know, oh, she goes to Catholic school and she's on the dance squad.
Yeah,
you know? And then
yeah.
she's like, she's 15, dating a guy 5 years older who's a high school dropout. You know, it's like, that's my dad.
Yeah, that's the Long Island like fairy tale.
Yeah, well, my dad had maybe the most Long Island job of the 70s you could possibly have. He was a car dealer, car detailer, and boat valet. Down on the dock, he'd jump onto like rich guys' boats and help them park it.
Just fucking smoking a cigarette.
His big story was, Johnny, one time this millionaire only had flip-flops and they wouldn't let him in the restaurant. And he gave me $100 to borrow my shoes. He told me that like this was like, I met a king. Yeah.
The Pope blessed me once. The Pope John Paul touched the fringe of my khakis. And ever since then, I only had luck when I wore those pants.
And that man, Jeff Hostetler.
That's so fucking awesome, dude. That fucking rules. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you did good, man. Marrying into the, you know.
What was Baltimore like growing up? Like, what crews were you running in? Like, what were you and your friends doing?
It was interesting because Baltimore, you could have such a range of outcomes because even between me and my brothers, like our adolescences where all three of us had something different going on. Because I was just like, I just tested good on like standardized tests and shit.
Yeah.
And if you went to your public school.
Another thing making me a long lost brother is
yeah. That like people thinking you're smarter just because your brain worked in that specific way.
Yeah, I think I was just as smart as I am now in like 6th grade, and they were like, "This kid's a genius," and then I just like
little
leveled
did
out
they know.
hard. Yeah.
That's my reading comprehension has only dropped. Dude, I've read full books and then been in my fucking like Kindle library and be like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'll be like 90 pages in and be like, "I have read this before." Like that's how little I fucking remember how fucking stupid I am. Or I'll read a book and be like, that was awesome, and I'll like recommend it to elders who's like, what's it about? And I'm like, there's a fucking guy and there's somebody it's in Ireland.
Like it's a girl and she's gone. I can barely remember the details.
But it was I went to you tested into from elementary school, you would have to take tests, and then you would basically legitimately, depending on how you did on this test in 5th grade, a lot of your future is decided, which is so fucked up.
Yeah, it's like some standardized version of like race sorting / like redlining. That shit is so real.
It's crazy because I tested well, and there was literally like 3 good middle schools in the whole system, right? And I went to the best one, and my brothers went to like the 3rd best one. But even the drop off from that
was enough of a leg up.
Fucking nuts, dude. Like my shit was like kids from my classes went to like hard. They were truly like kids that it was the smartest kids in. And dude, it was actually nice to get into that class because I was the dumbest kid in my class. And that was a freeing feeling.
Yes.
In elementary school, you know, I only had to compete with fucking idiots like Eldis. I was the smartest guy in fucking elementary school. And then you get there and I'm like, oh, these kids are so fucking smart. I'm going to cheat and fucking just have a good ass time. And it really laid out my whole life. I just copied their homework. I was the dumbest guy in the smart classes. And so I didn't really like get into anything fucking wild until even like the end of high school. Whereas like my brothers, it was like at their school, kids were getting stabbed for Pokemon cards. A pregnant teacher one time was trying to break up, like there's like kids in the hall trying to fight or whatever. And she tried to break it up and a girl like elbowed her in the stomach. And this bitch fucking cold cocked the child.
Holy shit.
She was pregnant. She was like, you don't touch my fucking baby. And she literally like iced, like knocked this girl out fucking cold.
Awesome.
It was like, and so the crew was like, me and Eldis were friends from like elementary school. And it was like, we basically had like essentially a long distance friendship. And we had another one of our buddies, the elusive Big P. who we'll never bring up. He doesn't want his name out there. We would fucking all hang out and like, you know, and I was just kind of like, I went to Greek youth, after school shit, and like you would get drunk with those kids. But it was like, it was pretty tame in that I was fucking scared of the shit going, like, you know, of everything going. And my parents, we were test tube babies and it took them forever to have kids. And so they were like,
a little older.
Everyone will kill you. Everything will kill you. Like they were so
just
scared.
So blessed that you were like, they got you.
Yes, they were so protective and like, you can't, like we weren't allowed to like walk to like the rec center until I was like, you know, 14 or something. Right. So I was like, and then it was like, and then, you know, once I was whipping my mom's Dodge Grand Caravan.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know,
very familiar.
Then we're fucking smoking weed and listening to Lil Wayne and getting no pussy whatsoever.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it was just
pure, another parallel.
Yeah.
We were drinking, listening to Weezer, getting no pussy.
Yeah.
I went to like an all black and Hispanic school system up until I was in like 6th grade. I was just like one of like 5 white kids in the grade.
Yeah.
So I was only ever being bullied just for being white.
Right.
And I was just kind of like felt normal.
Yeah.
Then when I moved, like when my mom, this is like the dark side of the American dream. It's like my mom got a second income and we moved to like 2 towns over to a much better school system. And then it was way more white kids. And then I was bullied for who I was.
For being a loser.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, I have like no defense to this. These people are like, you're a fuck. And I was a new kid. So then I latched on to what we are still all friends to, 3 43-year-old guys called the Nerd Herd. And we still are on a text thread where it's about video games and about Diablo.
Awesome. Oh, it sounds very similar. Yeah,
we like, I found these dudes and we like stuck together and started playing Dungeons and Dragons. But then in 7th grade, we were just enough of like, almost like we were freaks that were entertaining. We got like kind of gesturized.
Yes,
where it would be like, all the cool kids would be like, we're drinking in Martin Avenue tonight. Do you guys want? We'll buy you 40s. You come hang out. Yeah. Because everyone in our grade had older brothers, except for like us freaks were the old kid. So the older brothers in the high school they already like full back their way to a social life.
Yeah.
So in 9th grade, starting in 7th grade, we were just drinking every Friday and Saturday night.
Hell yeah, dude.
And in hindsight, being bullied. And like
In
hindsight, being like, yeah, remember when Mike's older brother made me do the truffle shuffle on the diving board in front of all those girls and I started crying? And I was like, how funny was that?
Dude,
and then
that
when
was so funny.
When I think about it now, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The older brother, he used to play a game called Gaylord. Mm-hmm. And the way Gaylord worked was it was a swimming race.
Love it.
And whoever lost had to go up against the fence with their pants down and get a basketball thrown at them. This guy was 6 years older than us. We were 14 racing against a 20-year-old. He's like, I win. Line up.
This guy was 20 hanging out with 14-year-olds?
Just absolutely bullying us, my friend's older brother.
Jesus Christ.
They did something called the stamp of approval, which was he just pulled your shirt up and slapped you on the back.
Oh my God.
We were like the Urukai. We all had like these big ass handprints on our
You're like, it's so awesome being cool.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so finally making friends, Mom and Dad. I don't need to go to Taekwondo anymore.
We would be like playing D&D in his basement at a sleepover, and then the older brother would like come home drunk with like 5 cool kids who in hindsight were absolute
just
dirt
pieces of shit.
Yeah, they were cool because they had rims and speakers and jobs, even though like having a full-time job instead of high school. But to us it was like, this guy fucking cool.
Believe me, dude, that's the one. That another parallel is like Greek people. Half the kids' dads just had carryouts and like had diners or carryouts. So it was like the kids that were awesome had the job they have now when they were 16.
Right.
They were like managers of a shitty pizza restaurant. They had Nextels. They had like fucking used BMWs. They were getting pussy. And I was like, dude, they made fun of me for going to college. They were like, what are you going to college, pussy?
Bro,
and
I'm
I was
already making $57K a year. You're like, gets in an unfathomable number. And then
dude. I remember being like, one day, maybe I make $45K a year, get a house in Greektown. Like I couldn't fathom moving when I was like, until I was like, I guess till I went to college and I was like, you just can meet even though I went to a shitty small school, you just meet enough different people
Yes.
that it's like, but I remember how parochial it felt where I was just like, yeah, maybe someday I can I never even, at first I was like, I'm going to stay in Greektown. I'm going to just get a nice job.
I just imagined being wealthy enough to move closer to the beach.
Yeah,
That's all I had
yeah.
was like, I'm not going to leave Long Island.
Yeah.
I know mom's a 10-minute drive from Jones Beach, but what if I was a 5-minute drive? You know, like, I wasn't dreaming of on the beach. That was for a different class of people.
Crazy.
That's so fun. I think about this. I went to a small college outside of New York solely because this is like where my mom's like, this is cute and it's less than 3 hours away in hindsight. But I remember being like in my early 20s in New York, walking past a bar on Saturday and college football's on, and I just like stop and look in and I see that there's a University of Hawaii playing, and I go to my buddy, I'm like, they have colleges in Hawaii? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude. And then I just like in that moment realized I can do anything.
Dude, believe me, I only applied to the University of Maryland, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, which is where I went, and Johns Hopkins, which was like the good school. But that was me thinking, which is in Baltimore City. And I got waitlisted at Hopkins, and I got into the other two, and UMBC gave me a scholarship, and I was like, guess that's where I'm going. And then I actually remember this moment of listening to, and I also just went to college because my parents, I'm an immigrant. I was the first person in my family. Like, it's the only reason I went. And I remember listening to, I think it was Donald Glover's Marin, and he talks about how he went to NYU for comedy writing. And I was like, the same moment of you with the Hawaii, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the dream.
I was like, I could go to school I don't have to pretend to care about history and then do shitty open mics. I could have just gone to school for fucking comedy. I mean,
yeah, NYU kind of broke me open too when I started doing UCB classes at 22.
And you meet all those kids.
And then I'm meeting like my buddy Dominic Dierkes, and he's like, yeah, I've been in UCB classes since I was 17.
Right,
and I'm like, oh, you're 22 and got the fucking world. Like, oh, fuck you, man. Like, I'm moving to the city. I'm living in a fucking loft that's getting set on fire like every weekend.
Was that what's your first move to New York? What's the setup like?
I moved to
you graduate, I guess.
I do graduate. I live at home for like 9 months. My first summer home, I worked Monday through Friday as a PA at VH1, and then Saturday and Sunday 10-hour days at the beach because I couldn't give up my lifeguarding job. Because even to date, I've been a travel show host. I've been on Drunk History. I get paid to talk about action movies with my friends.
Yeah.
And lifeguarding is still the best job I've ever had. I'm on the LA Fire Department email list about the lifeguard test because this is my midlife crisis.
That's
shit.
awesome.
Is I'll get on test and the TRT
You're
and just
ready to
become
go.
a fucking roided out lifeguard.
Why not,
at
dude?
45.
Why? Let's all return. Who are we pretending, dude?
I would be so like you could still podcast as a lifeguard.
No, of course. Action Boy. You'd be better at Action Boys if you were on TRT. You would be literally. It would be better.
I could use my business account to buy my TRT.
You would
It's for
understand
work.
it in you would tap in a primal way if you were a fucking a guy from Long Island in his 40s on steroids. That's who needs to be watching mid-tier Rob Van Dam movies. You know what I mean? Like that would be fucking perfect.
That's so true. Also, now that you say it, it's like most of the successful podcasters in our industry are on TRT as well.
Are you kidding me?
All the guys with Spotify money, all the bears in caves.
Dude. I don't even know what the fuck Bert's on. He told me something.
Bert's like, I took 2 days off drinking and now I have a 6-pack. It's like, oh, okay.
He's on medicines I haven't heard of. He told me that one. I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "I don't even." He doesn't even know. Respect.
They're like concierge hospital. Wealthy.
I gotta get there, dude.
So bad.
I need, dude. I'm ready to get zamped up.
I said to
I am ready, bro.
I'm on a text thread with a couple of friends that is exclusively about like when are you gonna pull the needle or whatever.
I'm gonna be the fucking guinea pig because I'm ready to. I took this whole year to try and get, and I lost 45 pounds.
Hey, that is fucking no joke.
But the second we shot tires, and the second I'm on a set with fucking unlimited Uncrustables.
The second your routine is broken, like in the slightest.
Exactly, dude. Even a little bit. And I have snacks. I gained 20 pounds back.
And you don't even have to tell me about like, oh, well, I worked today, even if it is being on the set of Tires with funny friends.
Yeah.
You're like, I worked today, so I deserve this.
I deserve, and it's like, look.
I had a bad day, I deserve this. I had a great day, I deserve this.
And then you get into like, well, I had a bad day today. I ate kind of bad, I'm not gonna eat healthy for dinner. When I
Right,
get
right.
home,
I'm
I'm
already- it's a
getting
wash.
Popeyes. Yeah, today's over.
Sunk cost.
As if it's like a pass-fail situation, and it's not amount of calories ingested. I'm like, well, today goes in the X column. Tomorrow will be a check.
Yeah, it's like getting like the 4th star in GTA. You're like, fuck it, I'll use a bazooka on the helicopter.
Right.
Rather than trying to cool off and switch to salad, you're like, I'm fucking annihilating my innards tonight.
I'm getting 2 3 pieces because I've done the math and it's cheaper that way on Uber Eats, thanks to this way the specific Astoria Popeyes lists their chicken. Like, I know all the little tricks. Oh, this way you get the sauces for free. And you don't have to pay. They have crazy upcharge on their sauces, but if you get 2 separate ones, they each come with 2 sauces. It's like, you know that level of fucking eating
I know
like
I save
shit.
$4. Yeah, I pay a $27 service fee, but I save $4 and don't have to make eye contact with anyone. Yeah. That's so funny. I literally said to myself, like, in the beginning of the year, I'm like, I'm not going to do Ozempic. I'm going to take this year to really... And then, like, we are recording this on December 9th.
Yeah.
And I turned to my wife this morning. I was like, I was supposed to lose weight this year. like I remember like I was supposed to move my car.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, wasn't I supposed to lose 50 pounds this year? Oh, shoot, I forgot. I put on 6 instead. Yeah, it's like something I'm constantly thinking about, and I don't understand what my hesitancy is.
I'm with you, dude. Yeah.
And part of me thinks it's like I don't want to be on a medication, but I'm already on blood pressure medication that I could foreseeably get off of if Ozempic helps me lose weight.
And it's like, I have done every other drug. Like,
Yes.
now I care about drugs. I used to take pills off of the floor.
I know.
I just snort.
That's how I got so pro-vaccine.
Yeah.
I was like, brother.
Me
I was
too.
like, brother, I drank blue juice for 10 years.
Me too.
I was like, I'm going to shoot me up.
There's no way this is worse than the
I
fucking
ate cicadas for money.
Yeah. I know. I don't even trust it. But I don't care. I think it's 50-50. It works or it doesn't.
Right.
But in the 50% chance it works, I'll take it. I rolled the dice on worse.
I'm not going to die from vaccine.
Yeah.
I got a long list of shit that's going to take me out before
Me and
that.
Eldest smoked fucking codeine. We crushed up pills in a shitty gas station metal, essentially a crack pipe, and sprinkled a little horrible weed on it and watched a Tanya Harding documentary. It's not fine. Whatever they're doing is not going to be fun. And by the way,
in the comics, that would like turn you into a hero or a villain. Like that would be your origin story.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was at an arcade fire. This is like the whitest 40-year-old guy story ever.
Yeah.
I was at an
Hit us with
arcade
it.
fire show at Central Park Summer Stage. And I just started smoking weed in like my mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And a dude turns to me, he's like, you want a hit of this? And I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I take a rip. And like a movie, the second I hand it back to him, he's like, it's got that cheese in it. And I was like, that must mean like we. And then I go back in the screen, and it must have been like dust or something, because I just immediately was the most fucked up I've ever been in my entire life. And like I look over and my wife is there who didn't hit it, and I'm like, good thing you didn't hit the weed. She's like, what's the matter? You're so sweaty.
You're sweating.
I just like immediately start sweating. And I'm like, you think David Bowie or Bruce Springsteen's gonna come out for the end of the set? I'm like, immediately, I was like, I don't know what I just fucking smoked.
Dude, I've never heard of the cheese.
Yeah, me
I've
neither.
never heard of it's got that cheese in it.
Another time in Puerto Rico, I smoked a blunt with some dude, and he kept saying, it's got that something, and I could not, he had enough of an accent. He wasn't even Puerto Rican. He was like a southern black guy, but his accent was so
awesome.
heavy, I still couldn't tell what he was saying. And he's like, I got it's what? He's like, that Momskin. And I'm like, the what? He goes, it hits you right here. And I'm like, just smoking it. And I'm like,
cool,
and
man.
I'm with my buddy Adam, and I'm like, should we like really follow up as to what's in here? It's like, what are we doing? And we're like, we're at this point of like hospitality where we're like, we have to smoke the whole blunt with him.
Blunt.
Yeah.
You don't want to be rude.
Yeah, so I'm just smoking a whole blunt of like, and I can't truly
I love that
understand.
you smoked the whole thing. You weren't just like, let me take a little puff.
I should have just gone like, oh, hey,
thanks,
thanks,
bro.
man. Good hanging out.
Yeah.
But instead, I was like, oh, wait, let me try the.
Yeah, you
it is hitting me right here.
Yeah.
My heart is racing, and that's good, right?
I know, man. I've taken this year to be sober, and it fucking sucks. I mean, I will do drugs again for sure.
You did a whole year?
Yeah, pretty soon. So I turned 35, and I was like, I gotta have at least one more year of my life. So like the last time I was totally sober for a year was probably when I was like 13.
Right.
So I was just like, all right, I need 1 year on record as an adult sober. And I also was on the road and getting so fucked up. And I was like, you know what? We'll stay for a year and I'll probably just like being sober, but I do not.
Yeah.
And but I think I'll probably just stick to just light weed.
That's where I'm trying to get at too. I'm in like a legit like health crisis point in my life, where I'm like,
now's the time.
In the pandemic, I shifted my relationship with booze in such a way that I'm very happy with my new relationship with booze, but then I ruined my relationship with cannabis and food.
Oh yes.
And now I've got to like get back to some sort of my dream. This is such old man shit, but my dream is to treat cannabis how normies treat alcohol.
Right.
Where it's
right.
like, all right, Friday night, I'm done with work, I can get high, instead of like me driving up to an audition with like a joint in my mouth and like tapping a car, parallel parking and shit. Like, what am I doing?
Believe me, dude. Me doing the math of like, all right, if the edible hits now and the show is in 6 hours, well, I'll be coming down. If I have an espresso, I'll probably be okay. The first one will be a little rough, but by the second show, and it's a fucking 2,000 seat theater. And I'm like, these people have like got a babysitter. It's like they've planned it for months, and I'm like,
bro, this is the most relatable shit. I always like, if I have to go do a show, the way I like to treat, I tell myself is like, I'll eat an edible on the drive home. And then I get home and I'm high. And so I say to my wife when I'm leaving, and I'm like, I'm going to bring edibles to eat on the drive home from the podcast because it's Sunday night. We're vibing out or whatever. And she's like, didn't you just say it's only 10 minutes away? And I was like, yeah, I'll just wait. Like, I have to be like, you're right, I should wait 10 minutes to come home. Like, I'm like, got to eat drugs in my car, eat gummies in my car real quick before I drive.
Yeah. You set an alarm to go on during the pod and just fucking pop an edible.
That'd be awesome. You have like the Monday through Sunday, like vitamin things, and it's just got like weird starburst in it.
Pictures of fucking Scooby-Doo, like with 25 milligrams. Yeah. That would be all fucking awesome. But yeah, I'm with you, dude, because I was thinking about this where I'm like, I'm looking at the way the tour is set up. Because I also don't want to fucking go crazy on the road, but I'm like,
because it's already so easy to treat yourself when you're on the road because you like feel like shit or you feel out of whack and you're like
you're lonely,
or you're like
whatever.
All we have in the lobby is like a fucking steakhouse or whatever.
Yes. So I'm just like, all right, I'll smoke weed. I won't smoke weed unless I have the day off the next day. Like I'm trying to kind of put some. We'll see, you know? Another thing I'm doing, this is, again, all weird old man shit, which, this is our Huberman. Yeah. Are you fat as shit and can barely control your vices?
Yeah. Forget your saunas, cold plunges. Forget fucking CrossFit. This is just how you smoke slightly less weed per week.
A little less weed from two of the fattest guys that are...
Take it from us.
Take it from us. Guys have been getting fatter every year their entire lives.
Welcome back to 2 bears, 1 hospital bed.
But you know what? I have a sneaking suspicion we have some incredibly fat men listening right now.
I'm positive
that this will actually help.
Because luckily, here's something that we forget every once in a while.
Yes.
We call ourselves fat all the time. We are objectively overweight gentlemen. We are LA fat. But then when you go to Dallas,
that is true.
You are like a fucking college athlete. These guys get out with that like 3-tiered fupas, you know? You're like sweatpants, like everything is like they have like pubic hair in their fucking neck, you know? And you're like, okay. I forget because all my friends are on TRT or wealthy with personal trainers.
Yes. Well, no, I remember feeling that when we literally in Dallas. Remember how roomy those booths were?
Oh, yeah.
It was the first time we sat in a restaurant. We were like, I don't have to move my side of the table a little bit to the other side.
I'm so fucking tired of walking into a restaurant with my wife and her going like, yeah, you need to sit over here, right? Like it's like the reverse of a booster seat. You're going to go lay on the floor here next to that bowl full of bread and butter. You're like, hey, jabba no babda. As she chokes me out with a chain.
What are you going to do?
I've been trying to be way more present with my weed where I'm like, this is the blunt I'm going to smoke.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I like try to like settle in because previously I'm just like, like just mind off fucking Baldur's Gate 3 hour 175, and I'm just chain smoking joints, and I'm not even enjoying it. I'm just trying to not be sober.
You're just trying to get your head. You're trying to fast forward your brain a little bit.
Yeah, just time travel to happiness.
Fully. You're like, maybe in 6 hours I'll not be depressed. Maybe I won't want to kill myself when I come off this edible.
Yeah, when you're in the fucking pocket on cannabis, your schedule starts looking like, well, tomorrow I have that podcast. It's done at 3, and then I don't have anything till 2 the next day.
Yeah.
That's like a good 23 hours of just degeneracy.
That's exactly.
Solo degeneracy. Like true, like shut the lights off troll life shit.
Yes.
You mentioned opening up your Kindle. The frequency in which I'm like, ooh, Scott Adkins martial arts movie. Sick. Press play. It's like, continue. Yeah. I was like, watch an hour of this. And then you put it on, you're like, oh, I've watched an hour of this multiple times.
Let's run back the first 40 minutes of Revenger now. That's a banger. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, look, we've already started giving advice to the fat weed heads out there. Why not keep it moving and really address some of these questions directly?
All right. And the premise of the podcast.
Of course. Yeah. Nah, it's all
now
good.
That he stopped talking about his problems.
No, we like to introduce our guests so they know exactly who they're dealing with, what expertise you have to help them. And I think you really do here. And yeah, at the midway point, some stuff to plug. Action Boys, I'm a fan.
Oh, thank you so much.
Whatever else you want to plug.
You mentioned the Gino Lombardo show. I'm putting out physical media of all 30 episodes of Gino's. I made a separate series that was behind a paywall for a long time, but now I'm selling a cassette tape with like all original art from this Long Island artist, and it has all 30 episodes. It's a USB drive that looks like a cassette tape, and that's on sale at gino.gabrus.com.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to pick me up one of those.
I'm trying. You know, if comedy doesn't work out, I'll sell fucking merch. I'm trying.
Oh, dude, believe me. Actually, I should fucking plug the calendars. The first successful thing I've done.
Awesome.
Thank you. The first thing that ever made me money was a nude calendar. Merch is the way to go, brother. Merch is it. Go check that out. Buy the cassette USB. Listen to the pods. And yeah, let's take some fucking calls here, Elders.
I will be firing away, bitch. Hello, my name is Amanda. If it sounds weird, I'm currently walking my dog, but I am with the same guy for our 10-year anniversary is coming up April 2025. We are so happy together. We love each other very much. I never thought this would happen to me, and it fucking did. This guy's a fucking catch.
Nice.
And context, I am bisexual. He is straight as a fucking arrow.
Perfect.
And we have talked about maybe opening our relationship strictly sexually to invite a third into the bedroom.
No problem.
Definitely a woman. I'm not fucking any other man ever again in my life. Sorry. Love you guys, but no.
Come on.
And we have talked about it in depth and length, had really fruitful, healthy conversations about it. Love him so much. We've gotten so far. I'm like, we're both kind of ready. And I don't know how to find somebody that would fuck us. I kind of want to watch some other hot chick suck my fucking boyfriend's dick.
Damn.
I'm sorry. And yes, he's my boyfriend. We're not fucking married. We don't want to get married. I don't want to hear any bullshit about that. But like, we just want to find somebody and have some fun. We're both ready for it. We love it. I love him so much. I am his first girlfriend ever.
Okay.
He's never been with another woman before me. So I want to watch this motherfucker have some fun, you know?
Interesting.
I'm not saying I was a slut before we met, but I've got a couple partners, you know? So, and I've never gotten off before him.
Never gotten off.
I'm very happy.
This is interesting.
So yeah, I just want some advice. Like, how do you go out? How do you find someone? I don't want to use a dating app. I don't want to fuck it. I don't know. How do you find people that want to fuck your boyfriend? Let me know. Love you guys. You guys rock. Bye.
I think I'm on the wrong show. Wait, what?
Yeah, this is hilarious.
This is wild.
This is awesome.
Is Amanda a real person? Because it seems like she's like created by a male screenwriter.
Yeah.
I just just want to watch my virgin boyfriend get his dick sucked by a stranger.
My virgin boyfriend who makes me bust so much.
He's the only one who's ever hit me deep. What the fuck?
You're so right. This feels like an AI generated. Like this is someone's like Joe Pantoliano Matrix fantasy.
Right.
This is like an incels. This is like a guy who's never gotten pussy. He's like, oh, put me back. I want a bisexual girl. That wants me to let me fuck a girl. I'll fucking destroy the Nebuchadnezzar.
She needs to not know the steps to make it happen. She needs to reach out to two guys, probably with limited experience in these departments.
I love this. This is like
I don't even open Instagram in front of my wife. You think I'm gonna fucking be able to figure out how to get a third chick?
Yes. No, this obviously cannot be man-driven. You need a woman with the exact kind of mental illness that our friend here has.
Yeah, Amanda needs someone to match her freak.
Absolutely.
Because then the boyfriend, not your husband, sorry, I don't want to give you that bullshit.
Yeah.
That seems a little defensive.
We don't believe in the patriarchy here.
That's kind of wild that she's his first lay, too.
Yeah, I mean, let's say they're in their 30s, they met when they were like 20 or something.
That's
you know
not,
what I mean?
not undeniable. I mean, I've only, my wife's my third leg.
Yeah. That's fuck. Yeah, that's when I think about the multiverse thing. I'm like, seems nice.
Yeah, no,
seems
it's great.
nice to not constantly have to fucking.
I've worn a condom in 20 years. Haven't sweated 1 minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. I've sweated. I'll tell you that much.
I'd be sweating.
We have something similar in the condom department, but I have had a couple sweats.
I too dislike condoms, but I have to deal with.
But it
consequences.
has come with some sleepless nights. I'll tell you that much.
Just banking on my own lack of motility.
I'm this fucking fat. I drank a lot of Mountain Dew.
I spent my 20s in a Speedo in the hot tub. There's no way. My boys are cooked.
Okay, so very interesting setup our friend here has. Look, if that's what you want, I'm not going to dissuade you, especially since it feels like a nice thing you're doing since he's never fucked another woman. Part of me would say, do you really want to open up Pandora's box like this? You seem very happy.
It would be his second pussy. Like,
would he
that's
be like,
hard.
Whoa.
He'd be like,
this is awesome. Fucking other women rocks. I'm going to do more of this.
Wait, he's got like a kid who's been in like homeschooled going to Baskin Robbins. There's 30 other flavors.
I don't have to get vanilla.
Not saying you're vanilla, Amanda. But even chocolate chip cookie dough gets tired.
Yeah, she's definitely a good flavor. I can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell this woman who makes this call fucks good. No doubt about it. But look, why don't you want to go on a dating app? I don't understand. You're bi, right? Here's the thing. You're finding a woman to fuck, and and obviously you should I've seen, there's couples who are on like Tinder. There's also Field, which seems to be
FEELD,
which seems to be the one where it's like you're gonna find, like, I bet you there are women in your specific situation, not in your, but like-minded women that would find this incredibly hot, that would find the idea of even being the temptress for a man who's only fucked one woman. Like, this is an erotic setup for freaks, where it's like, I think you got to open up your mind and go to a more freak-centric thing, because you want someone who wants it to be just about sex.
Sex party situation, or like some sort of
even a sex
with
worker. Why not? You want it to be purely sexual. You don't want him to fucking get this woman. He's not gonna pretty. It's not gonna be a pretty woman situation.
The barista at your coffee shop.
Yeah, you don't want somebody he knows. Like, oh, this woman he's had a crush on for that he's had.
Also, I would say maybe, Amanda, don't ask him who he wants, because that might be telling on. Because imagine you get that.
Totally
my wife goes, babe, who do you want to add? And I'm like, your friend blank. Yeah. She's like, what? You're like, you didn't want me to have that answer locked and ready to go? Your aunt.
Your recently widowed aunt. I think we can get her while she's fucking vulnerable.
She's sorting shit out.
So yeah, I don't know. I would say open. You're happy, whatever. I think treat him to a nice high-end sex worker. Nothing wrong with that. Or if not, yeah, go to like a freak forward dating app. I don't know why you're so against dating apps. I would personally say let this feel less like dating and more like a sexual adventure.
Yes, like an appointment.
Exactly, exactly. Because like you have a great relationship. I'm a little, we're don't slut shame here. We're not prudes by any means, but
I'm literally we're not prudes here, but I am literally out of my depth.
Yeah.
I'm hard as a rock and can't focus at all. This is honestly, after being married for 20 years, this is like seeing the University of Hawaii. I'm like, wait, there's chicks out there who want to see someone else suck my dick?
Yeah, there are, but they probably would have fucking like stolen your carburetor when you were playing Baldur's Gate.
Did you delete my Baldur's Gate save? Yeah. You deserved it. I stole all your fucking Star Wars customizable cards. Not my Obi's lightsaber.
Yes,
that was black rimmed. Sorry.
No, it's
what
okay,
the fuck
man.
am I talking about?
It's okay.
Getting genuinely upset about a hypothetical situation. I gave myself like sense memory anxiety. I was like,
not my fucking
what if
card.
someone actually did that?
That will fucking piss me off. But you guys have a nice thing going. I would keep the variables you introduced to a minimum, make them purely sexual. That's my advice to you.
Yeah.
Go, that is hot. I'm not
and
in a
I would say
relationship,
like you would want to present it as like a one-time thing with in the back of your mind, hey, if we dig this, we could do it again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like want to say, I don't think you should say to your partner cold here of like, we're ready to start bringing heads in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dip your toes in the water. Don't cannonball into the waters of strange pussy. To take a little beep. You know what I mean?
Could be really shallow. Could be one of those things where your asshole gets caught on the filter, gives you the pink sock. You got to be careful.
You got to be careful. Yeah, this is quite the setup.
Yeah, I think I like read that shit in like Penthouse. That's the kind of shit when you're like at a sleepover party, you're like, imagine if.
Dude, that's that's the wife I want. She lets me fuck other chicks and she eats pussy too. And you know what's hilarious?
I wanted Jenny McCarthy because she had huge tits and like did fake nose picking.
Yeah.
Like, that's the pinnacle of women.
I really wish that the character I just did isn't what in the back of my mind I hope my wife is like. You know what I mean? I'm like holding out hope that I get a fucking that specific kind of bisexual woman, but probably won't happen. I'm open for love, even if you're more conventional ladies. And if you just want to suck me off, hit the DMs. Lead with your tits. It never hurts. Next question, Eldis.
Hey, Stavros, Eldis, friends. I'll try to keep this short and sweet. So I'm a grad student at some university in the southeast of the U.S., and I'm in my fourth year of hopefully 4 years, maybe 5. And I made this friend the first year. He's in my class or whatever of like 6 other grad mates that we're gonna be graduating together.
Nice, man.
And he's really like he was my only friend that I kind of made out of these 6 people, and we got comfortable with each other. He started sharing more and more about his beliefs and things.
Oh no.
Long story short, a couple months ago, he kind of confesses to me that he's like a literal Nazi.
What?
Or at least a fascist is the word.
What the fuck?
So, I don't know what the fuck to do. He's not my friend anymore.
You don't know what to do.
That's for sure. And I've been ignoring him.
I just want to watch someone suck his dick.
But my main concern
Once we'll see a guy in an SS uniform, put his thumbs in his ass and suck his dick. Is that so much to ask? Keep going, Eldis.
For sure. And I've been ignoring him. He's been hitting me up. But my main concern is, do I just let this guy, this fascist, exist?
I mean, what are you going to do?
Throughout the world? Not really throughout the world, but, in my program amongst my peers and, just not tell anyone about it. I don't want to report him and play into the whole rights cancel culture bullshit.
I mean, it's a little different, dude.
Let me know. Let me know what you guys think I should do. All right. Thank you. See ya.
I mean, this is fucking wild.
This is such a modern issue. I mean, it's also like an ancient 1940s
course.
issue,
Of
but now,
course, yeah,
somehow
yeah.
it's also now such a modern issue.
Yeah, my friend is secretly a Nazi.
In grad school, that feels crazy too.
Yeah.
He's studying like brain size.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, great.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
He's a phrenologist.
Yeah. In my phrenology program,
we found a literal Nazi. My white Argentinian friend.
Yeah, my Argentinian friend Klaus.
This is fucking crazy, and I actually don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's fucking super cut and dry. I mean, depending on how much of a friend he is. Here's the thing. You always have to make an attempt, I think. Like we always say, have a conversation, even if it doesn't go right. Because, like, sometimes people like this get alienated.
Right.
Because, like, this might like, how many times do you, like, it doesn't always happen, but there are those, like, weirdly heartwarming stories where, like, someone just talks to someone and it's so clear they were in a gang because, like, no one accepted them. They were abused. They were, like, you know, like, that shit happens. And, like, you know, now maybe this guy doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be the guy who reforms a Nazi. And I also fully understand that.
It's not your responsibility.
It's not your responsibility, but it's like, how good a friend is he? And be like, can you explain to me? Like you can have the conversation like, hey, man, it's one thing to have different political beliefs. I just don't, like, I don't think people are inferior. Like, where did this start? Like, where is this coming from? Like, I really think, and you're my friend.
I think this is the right move. I think this guy needs to at least hear that you don't want to engage with him anymore because of that.
Right.
He needs to know that this is, in your mind, caller, this is the wrong choice that this guy's making.
Right.
Maybe he hasn't heard that yet because no one online is going, hey, I know we're all Nazis in this chat room, but has anyone ever thought about, like, has anyone ever met a cool black guy?
Yeah. And so, like, dude, will this work? Probably not, right? But it's also like, if it's an actual friend and not, he says it is, right? He says it's like the guy who stuck around for like 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, like, I do think it merits like some discussion of like, you know, what the fuck, dude? Like, what, for real? Where did this come from? I don't think, you know, you don't strike me as this kind of person. This is very hateful ideology. Like, I don't think, like, I think this shit is fucked up. And have that conversation. He might just, you know, say you're a libtard, or, you know what I mean? Say you're a pussy, whatever. Like, sometimes people are too entrenched.
But the fact that there's some psychology behind the fact that this guy hid it for so long.
For sure.
Because, like, the one thing I know about these guys is they like to share their beliefs.
That's true.
I'm never sitting next to someone at a bar out of town and they turn to me and go like, I'm crazy liberal.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you believe,
I think
the people who are down to tell you what they believe are usually Trump guys.
Dude, between you and me, I think we should have maternity leave over. I think women should get a year maternity leave.
I say open the borders.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is fucking weird, and yeah, you gotta, I guess, sort of make the attempt.
I have like a million more follow-ups because I'm curious how this guy revealed himself to be a literal Nazi or at least a fascist, as the phrase you used. Because those are slightly different categories.
Yeah,
and
I mean, neither of them are good.
No, yes, exactly.
Neither of them are fucking good. And then it's also like, what do you do about it? I mean, certainly you can just, if it comes up, be like, you don't have to snitch, but it's like, you don't have to report him, obviously. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, is this guy doing hateful shit, or is he just like a fucking weird? Some of these guys do it for attention. Some of these guys, like, it's like, you know, you can tell your friends, hey, what happened? You never hang out with Mark. Well, this motherfucker does this, and this. And it's like, it is funny because there's an old Mark Norman joke of like, when someone confesses they're racist to you and you're like, you know, I think what you're saying is horrible, but I didn't know you thought we were this close. Like, it's like, it is like a weird badge of honor how much he likes the guy.
Yeah, wow. I guess we're better friends than I thought since you're revealing this fucked up shit. But also, I have to walk away now.
But now I'll never speak to you again. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I think it's worth it at least. And I do think is like, incredibly fucked up as this is, you owe one fact-finding potential can I save my friend conversation if he's your true friend.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like, all right, man, if you're really
he needs
this
to
kind
know
of a piece
someone
of shit,
cares about him. And then also, if that doesn't work, he needs to know that his beliefs are so disgusting that he's going to lose what little friends he has in grad school.
Truly, because at the end of the day, there is something to that of like, there's like you have to exist in a fucking society, and it's like if your beliefs are that despicable,
like the most real fucking response is just like, guys, we all fucking have to live here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
like if you were all in just a dorm room, you'd be like, take that fucking poster down, dude. We all have to live
sucks,
here,
dude. And then you might fuck him up. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. You just have to. And yeah, he has to understand that in the real world, because this smacks of radicalized online. Yes. Maybe this hasn't affected him in real life. Who knows?
Because this is not just like he voted for Trump.
No.
This is not just like I'm a big JD Vance head.
Right. Which is still like, I would still be like, you like nasty. JD. Yeah, right. You like that guy.
That's my.
You find him charismatic and think his policies are good. Okay.
Whatever. His book.
Yeah, dude. But again, at the end of the day, you don't have to fucking save some guy. But it's like one conversation to fucking try and reach some humanity is fine. And then, you know, don't report unless this guy's fucking, unless there's like a guy who's fucking, you're like, oh, some guy threw a brick through a synagogue and he guesses. Maybe then you can say, I got a guy we might want to fucking see.
He just got nominated to be a member of the DEI board. He's like, I think we should say something now.
Damn, tough,
That's
dude.
fucking crazy.
The rise of Nazi, it's like,
imagine having like a fascist sculptor MFA or something, you know,
someone
someone who's got a graduate degree but they are a piece of shit.
Yeah. And he is a great sculptor. It's like, fuck. It's good stuff, man. Yeah, who do we got here? But it is the Nazi shit is crazy. Like, I guess we're far enough away from World War II that young people, to them, it's like what the Civil War was for us.
Yes, we're like, I'm a rebel. Huh?
Yeah,
exactly. Dukes of Hazzard.
It might be that, which is fucking crazy. I mean, in Europe, it's crazy too. I mean, there's Greek people who say they're fascist, and it's like they literally took over. Like they fucking took over Greece. They like. It's just insane how much people have forgotten, how quickly people forget this shit. It's like, it's fucking nuts. They're like, you see that and you're like, those guys are a little misunderstood. Like, it's funny that it's crazy in America, there's people that are like, okay, both fascism and communism are bad, but with a couple tweaks, fascism could work.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the one you want to tweak?
Yeah, your refusal to tweak the other one because Russians were communists.
Yeah, it's like, it is funny because that is so funny because we're both big action movie fans and the politics are so atrocious, and how they're like, commies. Every commie's a piece of shit.
I watched the show Lioness, this Taylor Sheridan show that I love. It's so fucking violent and crazy.
And it was filmed in Baltimore the first season.
Oh hell yeah! The politics are bananas. It's like the worst. It's like playing Call of Duty politics, where they're like, we got to get in there and kill Saddam. It's like, wait, why? So we could plant the nuclear bomb. And you're like, okay,
we know that was a mistake. Like, we have information that was wrong, a bad move.
Part of this shit feels like instigator arms race too, of like, I'm a weird online troll, and it's like the worst kind of troll you can be is a fascist Nazi, and it's like, look how mad everyone, I trigger everyone when I say this, and you're like, but what you're saying is historic, like, you're choosing the bad guys from movies. Like, how do you?
And by the way, you're a pussy. Like, that's the other thing is like, could you actually kill another human being? Could you fucking round up people and shoot them in the fucking head? Or are you a fucking pussy on the internet? And it's like, probably they're just weird trying to. It is the like logical conclusion to trolls. One branch is like, what's the most hated type of thing?
How can I be so offensive?
I could pretend in good faith I'm like supporting it. Which is crazy. It is fucking nuts.
It's banana. Like, it should be like, you should be persona non grata the second that happens. Like, everyone should like get to line up, punch you in the gut like a movie, and then everyone's like, all right, everyone in class gets to punch this Nazi fuck.
He understood. He got his lesson. Now let's go back. No more Nazi shit. And it's such a fucking it's also like lame. It's not fun. It's like you want to spend. You're clearly not fucking, right? Like that's part of the incel thing. It's like you want to get into just getting into any politics is fucking gay.
Yeah, I agree.
But then being like, I'm a Nazi? You think that's gonna make your life more fun?
Honestly, it would be being like an anarchist would be more trolly. Being a fucking crazy socialist would be almost troll at this point. Just choose the one where like people aren't considered inferior.
I know exactly. It's like you could make people mad that way, but whatever. I guess there's like it's also wrapped up in like
you could just
weird...
go say "Go Red Sox" in a Yankees Reddit thread too. At least like just go.
Well, that doesn't hit the same. You got to be a fascist now. I guess it is like it's the way we could jack off to printed black and white pictures.
Right.
Like a troll back then used to be like, the Yankees are gay, and they were like, how dare you?
Get 'em.
Now you have to be like, here's my ranking of all the races. It's an arms race.
Yeah, you gotta just
porn is like kids are jacking off to the craziest shit.
It's stepmom stuck in washing machines and a return to fucking 1940s Germany.
Oh my God. All right, well, let's see what we got here. Maybe a question about jacking off or something.
Yeah.
Stavvy, you beautiful bastard. What's happening? And shout out to the best producer in podcasting,
That's
Mr.
right.
Eldis. How are y'all? I hope y'all are doing well. Look, I've got this problem. I met a girl on the internet.
Nice.
And she is drop dead gorgeous. Okay. Colombian immigrant.
Nice.
No baggage, no family here, no kids, 10 years younger than me, smoking hot. Always wanted to come to America and find a blue-eyed white boy to just be with for the rest of her life. Sounds awesome, right?
I guess, if we're
Sounds
to believe
great.
that, yes.
Well, here's where the problem lies.
Oh, the problem hasn't happened.
I am going through the worst period of my entire life. Just got a divorce. Credit.
Yeah, you're telling me you uncritically believe all of that.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be the problem.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, the problem is...
Here's where it gets complicated.
I'm like, brother, you have sent her so much airline money already. I know you have.
Oh, man. All right, respect. Let's see what else he's got.
Be with for the rest of her life. Sounds awesome, right?
Sure.
Sounds great. Mm-hmm. Well, here's where the problem lies. I am going through the worst period of my entire life. Just got a divorce. Credit destroyed because of it. Horribly alone. Go home every night to an empty house. Nobody there to greet me while I...
Sounds like a guy who's ripe for a Colombian scam.
Yeah.
Sounds like the kind of guy.
El gato pesco, the catfish.
I mean, this is
shit, not to be the long-term married guy, but I'm relishing in the coming home to an empty house.
Yeah.
Sounds nice. I'm like, alone at night, quiet.
I get
choosing your own dinner and movie.
Yeah. Get to throw on Army of One. Some early Chuck Norris work. Free on Amazon Prime right now. Let's just plug that. I haven't plugged my own movie in like 8 episodes. Check out Chuck Norris Army of One. I keep forgetting to plug my tour and my movie. But hey, guys, check out Bosch.
We plugged Field and Reacher.
Banger. Love Reacher, man. Great stuff. All right. Let's keep going here.
Treat me while I've been gone. So I feel like my judgment has been clouded.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
we're getting somewhere.
As much as I want it, I know that this is probably a green card marriage situation.
I don't even know.
And I don't know what to do. She's assured me that that's not why she's here. She's assured me that she's not here for a green card or a child that would keep her in the country. But my judgment tells me better. But again, going through the things that I have been going through.
Yes.
And being alone for as long as I have, I don't know if this is a good idea. Okay. I need the wisdom of the beautiful ancient Greek god of the portly gentleman.
That's right.
So Holla at you, boy. Let me know. Y'all take it easy.
Wow, okay. A little self-awareness there towards the end.
I wouldn't normally tell a guy with that pacing and accent to trust your judgment. But in this case, Alabama Slammer, I say trust your judgment. Like,
now, okay. The fact that he's even he won me over in the end, where now I'm trying to figure out a way for him to get pussy. So I'm trying to do the math here. All right. He's going through a horrible divorce.
Yeah.
His credit's ruined.
Yeah.
What does this bitch have to take from him?
He's
got nothing.
You might want to shoot the bazooka at the helicopter. Fuck it, sunk cost, I'm in.
Your life is at the lowest it's ever been.
I say fucking go to Colombia and become her dependent. I say you go, you know what, babe, you're right. And you show up in fucking Medellin and move in with her.
Absolutely. That's a great move.
You're right, babe. We should get married.
We should be together.
You fly in and stay there.
We should be together.
Imagine the feeling you are if you catfish someone and they move in with you.
They reverse it.
They
like
flip a judo catfish.
That would be awesome. Now, he is saying that she's in America. Is that right? She's a real human being that he knows?
It's hard to tell. He says,
I met a girl on the internet.
He met her on the internet, but he says that's not why she's here.
Yeah.
She's not here. So, okay, then here's my follow-up to you, little buddy. If she's here.
Oh, yeah, he says always wanted to come to America. Oh, well, I guess that's not clear either. Yeah.
From the way he's talking, it sounds like she's here.
You're right.
If she's here, you're divorced. You have nothing for her to take. You're lonely. She's hot and claiming she's not. Let her, if she's trying to take you for your wealth, let her find out the hard way. Then the accounts is empty, baby. That Wells Fargo account's as empty as your balls are gonna be, God willing.
Honey trapper with a bag of dead bees.
I mean, so yeah, dude, that's my other thing that I would say is like, and let's play this out. Let's say she wants a green card. She's smoking hot. What do you have to? You're lonely right now. Let's say you're married for 5 years. She gets permanent residency, and you got to fuck her for 5 years.
Yeah.
Is that the worst thing in the world?
Right.
Is that really that bad? So okay, he's got This is the kind of
This is how we get the conservatives to come around on immigration.
Yeah.
We'll get some chick with a fucking donk to fly in here. I dare you to tell her to leave.
Yeah. All right, but if you get her, we let two other guys in. That's how it works. We 2 for 1 it. We 2 for 1 it. One hot woman for 2 ugly motherfuckers with a hard work ethic. So I don't know, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if she's here, what do you have to lose by going on a couple dates?
Yeah.
And my other question is, why haven't you gone on dates yet?
It's making me wonder if she like lives in another city and wants to be flued out, you know? And like, that's the kind of stuff where that's what I foresee. Like, okay, I'll do it. She's like, nah, I just need some money for the airline ticket. And you're like, yeah, of course, I'll send you $200. That's only fair if you're visiting me. And she's like, oh, it's so weird to get out of. It's so weird to get out of the account because I actually, can you send like another 60? You know, and all of a sudden you're like sunk. Like, okay, you're just sitting there with a hard dick going, should be here any fucking minute. Like, why did I take the honey pack already?
You're in the fucking the airport pickup lot with the hardest dick you've ever had in your life. She's like, oh, still delayed. Oh, you won't believe it. They canceled my flight, but United has one leaving in 45 minutes. I just need 400.
Only extended leg room.
Yeah. So yeah, we need a little more information here. I would say if you could do this in a way where there's and have you FaceTimed with this woman?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, let's go through the basic catfish protocols.
FaceTime with her and go like, oh, do you have like a newspaper or today's magazine or anything you can hold up?
Oh, I haven't got a chance to check out the paper.
Can you put on Channel 7 in the background?
Hey, what's the fucking Rams score of the Rams game? Can you pull that up real fast? Yep, just hit up ESPN for me right now. Yeah, dude, if there's a way to do it where it's just going on a date with someone who's assuring you that she's not, and by the way, the fact that he's brought this up to her, and she's like, "Nah,
you're not just trying to get me to knock you up." She's like, oh shit, hold on. No. What should I write back? Write back? No. Yeah. No way, babe.
Well, yeah, it's like a guy on Google Translate. It's just like some fucking, it's not even a Hispanic guy.
But it's also nice to hear, because I know so many white guys who've fallen in love with like unattractive exotic chicks who are like, bro, she's Venezuelan.
Yeah,
and you look at her and you're like, okay, you're into the fact that she's, it's fun to hear the flip of like, she always wanted a blue-eyed American. He's like, always wanted one of them blue-eyed Americans. I'm like, she's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't seen that many Americans.
Yeah. There is a path to this happening. It's a very small, strenuous path. It's a fucking it's a rope bridge between two fucking high ass cliffs. Like you might be able to, it may be, but just if you can just go on a date with her, FaceTime, literally like go through the catfish protocols.
Yeah.
Go on a date. You have really nothing to lose right now. So I don't understand your hesitancy. It feels like there's a piece we're missing, right? Doesn't it feel like otherwise
if
he
she
would have met
starts
up
asking you like what your mother's maiden name is or childhood pets and stuff like that, you know, sniff that out.
Yeah.
But otherwise I say fucking let her rip, brother.
Proceed with caution.
You've been warned, but I say, like using Stavvy's rope bridge analogy, I think the back one is lit on fire.
Yeah,
so you leap with the fucking fire in the back.
Absolutely. You're either making it across or you're fucking dead. But either way, you know, it might be good enough for the chance of pussy. And now the more I'm thinking about it, no way this is real. But hey.
Hey, but we need to make content every week, so.
No way this woman exists. But hey, man, try and make it happen, brother. That's all I can tell you. All right. Interesting stuff here.
Oh, man. What a wild life.
I know, that is crazy. Who else we got?
Hello,
LD?
Stavros and guest.
Hello.
I don't know how to speak, so I'll just get right to the point here. I've been working a really good Lux job, good health insurance, good pay.
Nice.
I could play Nintendo at work for like 3 years now.
Awesome.
But one of my managers quit his job so that we could try dating.
Oh no.
And now that that's happening, I do not want to date this man.
No.
In fact, maybe I'm gay. Maybe I'm asexual. I don't know what's
God.
going on, but I do not want to date this man. But I have to. But we just had a going away dinner party with our whole entire fucking work group yesterday.
No.
And everyone's looking at me, and I hate my life. So what should I do?
Oh my God.
What the fuck is going on? How did this happen?
How did you get in this position?
This is fucking nuts.
This is bananas. And I think just right off the bat, I'll tell you, you owe this dude nothing.
True, that is.
Yeah, like right
it's insane to be like, I'll break up and we can be together. And you're like, I guess. Like, I mean, this is fucking wild.
It'd be awesome if she got promoted into his position and shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. And I wish I knew I'm trying to imagine the workplace.
Yeah.
Like,
tech or
going
programming.
Yeah.
This is not this guy is not fucking Rico Suave.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
like the one woman who worked there, he's like, I'll throw my life away for you. Let me see your pussy. Oh, getting your job. Just let me see your pussy for a second, please, 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 please.
Holy shit. Imagine quitting your job for a chick and her response is, I might be either gay or asexual.
Which is just not true.
Yeah.
You just don't want to fuck this guy.
Yeah.
They probably fucked once and she's like, ruh-roh.
Yeah. And he's like, don't worry, I'll step down. Don't say anything to the boss.
Yeah,
I'll quit.
yeah.
But then we'll be together.
Yeah.
We can finally be together.
I hate to be the guy who's like, we need a little more info, but like, how the fuck did this happen for real?
Yeah, I
like,
gotta know.
Like, And look, it sucks. Now let's just say nothing weird happened, right?
Right.
It's
all above board.
Let's say it's all above board.
Would you like to grab a drink sometime? Well, you're my boss. I quit.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I'll get a beer.
Or even that she was in on it, let's say.
Right.
Let's say they had some kind of rapport, and who knows? Let's just even though I doubt it, I don't know how that would happen.
Yeah.
But let's just say that's what happened. And so let's just say you were even sort of, you wanted to be in a relationship, and now you really don't want to be in one. I get feeling guilt. Like if you actually liked this person and thought they were nice and were like, let's give it a whirl, whatever. It was a mistake. Both of you made a crazy mistake.
Yeah, he might be feeling that too.
Yeah. I mean,
if you guys fucked and you had in your head that you might be asexual or lesbian,
like,
he felt that.
What's wrong with your pussy? I've never seen a pussy snap shut like a Venus flytrap before. How did that happen? Your pussy lips, they're braiding each other to close your hole.
Why do I hear the sound of a faucet closing? Why do I feel a hose faucet tightening? Creak, righty tighty. Creak, 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 creak.
Okay, so in a world where this was a mistake you both made, and you really are not having a good time, unfortunately, now we can tell you, like, now if there was some weird thing where there was an abuse of power thing and you kind of felt like you had to agree to it or some weird shit, that's a different story. But if you just, like, that's a different story. You should be able to keep your job, and if anybody tries to do anything about it, there should be like legal, whatever. But if you just said, yeah, dude, I'd love to date. Let's do it.
And he
quit
was
your
like,
job.
That's perfect. I'm going to quit my job, burn my house down, shave my head, and then we're going to start dating. Like, wait, what were those three things?
What were those last three? and like, let's just say you even encouraged it and you've just made a mistake here. I mean, you shouldn't be in a relationship you don't want to be in, but I mean, realistically, like, if this guy's like a beloved figure in the office, like, you just might need to and everything was above board. It's just going to affect your life. You can break up with him and be like, but there will be blowback. I mean, there just will be. Like, especially if you wanted this to happen.
This is why you don't fuck at work.
This is so clearly why. This is so clearly why.
You're doing it like as above board as possible, and it is still disassembling your life.
And it could fuck both of your lives up.
And we're not even saying that the hardest hitting part of this paragraph for me is the idea of a good job with good health insurance where you can play Nintendo all day.
I mean, that
shit has got me strapped the fuck in. I'm like, I need that.
I get why she doesn't want to fucking leave that job. And I would say don't quit because you feel bad. Like, look, break up with him, see how the office takes it.
Yeah, there's a manager position that's open in your company. There's room for growth.
Maybe you can fucking transfer to a different office. I don't know, but like, if you really are feeling this way, right? And look, here's the other thing. I have commitment issues, right? Like, and I've been with someone that I really liked, and then the second it was official and real, I freaked the fuck out, broke up, and I've ruined multiple relationships
and
that way.
And then have like those like 6 month later regrets and
not
shit.
even 6 months, but like 2 weeks, or like I just had an emotional response.
Right.
And like that really felt like psychological, and that I've worked on, and I know I might have that feeling momentarily, but I have to let it go.
That doesn't mean I need to act on that in this moment.
I even might be, so like we don't even know what's going on. Like, do you have that? Or like, so I don't,
it's the fear of like, oh shit, this is too real happening. And that's where like, I might be asexual.
Because by the way, that's a lot of pressure, right? The fact that somebody quit their fucking job for you, even if you like them, that could make you feel weird.
Yeah, that's like a weird power dynamic or shame.
Already you go in owing them something.
Right, yeah.
And that might be what feels weird to you. It's like, it doesn't, maybe you had a fun flirty back and forth at the office, but now it's like, if I don't fucking love this guy,
got too real, too fast, and now you're like,
this is like moving in. This is like the level of moving in together.
Right. It's like an accidental sped up version of the relationship.
100%.
I'll leave my job for you. It's like, but we've only fucked once.
Yeah.
I feel like why doesn't she just split the difference and be like, okay, break up with, give this guy 2 or 3 months, not even to give yourself a chance to like him, but just like Give yourself a 3-month deadline to break up with him. So then it's like a little cleaner than just like breaking up with him the second he leaves the job. It's kind of like, I can't break up, or you got this trip booked this summer.
Right.
We're going to this wedding. It's
Yeah.
like the same kind of thing, give the guy a few weeks.
True, give it a real honest college try. I mean, but that's
Not
why
even
we
a
don't-
college try, but like just wait a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
true.
It's
Slow
it's
play
not
him if you have to.
it's not-
Yeah. We'll hang out next week. I
Yeah,
promise.
it's not good advice usually to be like be in a relationship you don't want to be in, but like you got to make your case like a little clean or something.
But that's also why we need more info, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's good advice if she was like an active participant in this plan.
Right, she kind of pushed
Like,
it on
you know
him.
what I
She's
mean?
like,
Like-
yeah, if she's like one of the architects of you leaving your
Yes.
job so we can fuck.
But-
because I understand how that sounds on paper. Like,
Of
you're
course.
fucking DMing with some coworker, and he's like, I wish we could fuck, but these stupid HR rules.
Yeah,
And she's like,
yeah.
well, why don't you quit your job and I'll
Yeah,
suck
yeah.
your dick? And he's like, fuck yeah. And then he shows up and he's like, I quit. And she's like, wait, what?
What the fuck?
I'm gay.
Yeah, she's really going for the spacey defense. She's like, I've committed unspeakable crimes. I'm gay.
I like alcohol and men. Doesn't that make me not evil?
So yeah, that's what. But I do wish we had a little more info about how this started. But
Yeah, and if this
You know.
company is hiring.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah.
have a Steam Deck and
Yeah.
noise canceling headphones. You never even have to
Yeah.
see me.
do they have a lifeguard position
Yeah,
opening
do
up?
they have a pool?
Is there a pool? Do they need a lifeguard?
Kids just drowning as I'm playing fucking Shadow of Mordor for the 8th time.
Oh man, I definitely feel for our call. I feel
like
for both of
I
these
feel like she
people.
also like absolutely do not move in with him if this is a situation where she's just really passive and going with the flow. Do not move in with him. And
Absolutely.
in fact, if he tries to like get that going fast, that could be that could be your out to be like, I don't know, this is moving a
I
little
just
too
wish
fast for me.
let's see if we can get her on a fucking live call for real.
All right.
I need to know a little more about this fucking situation. We do a couple live calls on Patreon sometimes.
Oh, you'll
They're
get like
fun.
some follow up from the people.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
sometimes.
awesome.
Or we'll have
let me
like
know
people.
if you get Amanda that.
Yeah,
I want to hear word for word slowly her watching some chick suck
Yeah.
her boyfriend's dick.
You're like,
Boyfriend,
yeah.
not husband.
Let me know if you get Amanda. Maybe her and my wife could become friends and maybe talk some stuff out. What else we got here, LD?
Stavvy, baby.
more.
Hey, I thought I'd call and give an update. You answered my question quite a while ago, but I called about my wife hitting her early 40s and really stepping it up a notch with her sexual appetite, and I was looking for advice on how to kind of spice things up a little bit more. You guys' advice was awesome.
This was from the George and Sam episode a long
this is a
time
while
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
His his like wife was a freak and he couldn't keep up.
Yeah, basically.
And he
she's like
I can
40
tell
or
you
something.
that's something that happens to women in their 40s.
Gabe was like, I just want to eat Domino's.
Yeah, the cruel punishment that that the supreme being put in our bodies is that men at 40 start to fail, and women at 40 are like, I cannot get enough, and you're just like,
You're
missing.
like, I can't put it. There's too much hymns in my
Yeah,
bloodstream.
promo code Stavvy for hymns. Yeah.
I'm more hymns than blood.
More hymns in than hymns in. More hymns in than hymns in.
Yes, promo code Stavvy.
A couple comedians on, George Siveris and Sam Taggart, having the two gay guys on there was hilarious because
That is
I
true.
mentioned that
They're awesome.
I wasn't, that neither of us were interested in butt stuff. Well, turns out she is, so long story short.
Turns out I am.
That's been going pretty well. She likes some of the ass play stuff we've been doing.
Nice, dude.
But I was calling to also ask an additional question, see if what your advice would be on asking her and talking to her about watching some porn together.
Oh.
A little background would be, we've never really talked about it. It's kind of don't ask, don't tell. And
What?
I always just assumed she knew that I still watch some porn here and there. But when I stop and think about it, I always wonder if she really does know that. Maybe she assumes I don't.
What?
I don't know. Obviously, she's not a prude. But I think in the past, you may have looked at that kind of as a cheating type thing. Anyways,
what is going on here?
Just
This
curious.
keeps coming up.
What?
People keep talking about porn as cheating. Is something in the zeitgeist here? Are we really getting that conservative as a country that people are starting to talk about?
Not politically conservative, but socially conservative to the degree where jacking off is cheating. Yeah. Save your seed for me. What the fuck?
Especially this guy's calling. He's like, yeah, my wife's a freak now in her 40s.
She lets me fucking rip her asshole out. I'm worried about letting her know I watch Pornhub. You're good, bro. She lets you call into a podcast and say, she liked the ass play, gay guys. So I think she's chill, dude.
But yeah, watching porn, that's great. I think that's another thing to spice it up. You know what I mean?
I would say that this is a fun couples activity, but just keep in mind the male taste and the female taste could be pretty far apart. And you like the thing I'm always worried about when young men ask me about this stuff, or I hear, I'm always concerned that like, you know, when you've been like, to go back to a cannabis analogy, you've been smoking fucking Keef bong rips and like laced joints, and then you have like a friend over and you forget that they're not up to that level. Remember that with pornography, we don't necessarily, she might not want to kick it off with like mascara running throat jobs. Yeah. It's like, this is called 8th Street Latinas. You know, like you might not want to go right into hard, like, so kind of, let her lead.
I will say, by the flip side, I have dated some women who watch the most atrocious things you could possibly imagine.
You got to find out from them. Because you don't want to overstep and be like, what kind of stuff turns you on? It's like this. And she's like, what?
I'm like, yeah.
But the other trick is maybe you find like one porn star that looks kind of like your girl, like her, and you're like, I like her.
Oh, she's hot. Oh shit! You're fucking like
I jerk off to regular girls. I mean, to be fair, that is kind of my thing now. It's just like I like when a TV is on in the background. I want it to be so amateur that I'm like, this could be like this could be a colleague.
Yeah. No, I got you. But yeah, dude, you're in there, dude. Start slow. I think that's good advice, and then fucking. She's definitely gonna be into watching porn. That's a fun little spice up activity. Nothing wrong with that.
That seems kind of like, not that you should like rank kinks, but like to me, watching porn is probably lower than your first ass encounter.
Than late in life, like butt plugs.
Right, yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, you should have started with porn. You're fine. Now you're going back, you're beating level 1 with all, you got the fireballs.
You're going to 100% it. You want to get all the map, you want to complete the map.
Yeah, you skip that somehow.
Yeah, you're back to tutorial. Just let it rip. You got this, X to jump, Y to crawl.
All right, you got something fun for us to go out on here, Elders?
Oh, yeah.
This has been so fun, dude. Thanks for coming.
Oh, please. I'm having a fucking blast. And we're really helping people.
That's what's important.
Oh, my God. That was amazing. Hi, Stavvy. I'm a trans dude. I just wanted to call in and ask if you have any tips for making guy friends. I would love to have some more guy friends, but I don't seem to be able to speak their language. I don't know, they all seem kind of aloof and they don't really talk about their feelings at
Welcome,
all.
Brother. That's what it's like around here.
I'll be like, how are you doing? How's your mental health? And they stare at me like no one's ever asked how they feel ever in their life. And either it goes really well or they're like, Jesus Christ, what are you talking about, dude? I need dude information from the inside. So, I don't know.
All right. So I'm assuming, you're taking whatever steps are as part of your transition. The main step you need, I think, from a layman when transitioning to being a man is to watch the movie Heat. And then you will always have something to talk to guys about. It goes across all ages, and
100%.
you can just say fucking Heat, right? And everyone will be like, yeah, Val Kilmer with the guns. You know, like
Val Kilmer's awesome. Michael Mann. There's so many rich veins to fly out on after
De Niro,
that.
Pacino,
The De Niro,
Michael
Pacino
Mann,
thing, Michael
yes.
Mann. Why didn't Val Kilmer ever really figure it out? You know, like, why didn't we get that guy in his own movie? You know what I mean? There's so much good stuff.
Yeah, it's funny what he's asking. Like, he's 100%. I don't want to compare our lives at all, but this is something I dealt with as just a sensitive heterosexual cishet guy. I'm just like, how's everyone feeling? They're like, you're gay.
Shut the fuck up, pussy. That's how we're feeling.
If Stav ever asked me how's my mental health, I'd be like, are you okay?
He's my best friend.
I would
known each other for 25 years.
I would be suspicious 34. If you asked me that after my mom died.
Yeah, I don't think I did ask you that after your mom died. I was like, damn, dude, that sucks.
It sucks.
Your mom, who I probably love, the woman I love the most after my own mother just passed away, and we never had a direct conversation about it. We just flew you out to LA and smoked weed when I did that show. That was a great weekend, though. But that is a good.
This is a lot like Collateral.
Yeah. We literally took mushrooms and we fucking watched. Yeah, that might kind of be the answer. Is like, if you are worried about a dude, don't ask him directly. Just do something awesome with him.
Yeah, just be present. Like Stavvy and I have never met before. We have just sat here and had like a random bit conversation about our childhood. Found all these parallels. That's all you need. Honestly, men connect. If sports aren't for you, that's like sports is
so easy. It's a very cheat code. The NFL for small talk. Easiest thing in the fucking world.
I call it father-in-law conversation.
Yes,
and it's like this is what you can talk to your Trump-supporting father-in-law about is movies, sports, like what kind of car you drive. Even if you are not a car head, just telling a 70-year-old man you have a Subaru Outback, they're like, all-wheel drive, huh? And then now we're buddies. Yeah,
totally.
You'd be surprised also how low the bar is. Like if you go to a gym and you've said to some person twice, like, hey, nice lift or sup, that person may consider you a gym friend.
100%.
Like, I have nod friends that I'm like, that's my boy.
I wonder what he's up to. Yeah. I wonder what that guy's up to, man. And so, that's something you might just be overthinking this in a crazy manner. There's like you just hang out. You just do. And maybe like, instead of making the effort to directly ask about mental health, like an effort that might go, because the other thing I'll say about bros, almost no one is good at making plans. If you figure out, let's say they're showing a print of Heat, and you're like, boys, I got 4 tickets. There's a wing place around there.
Trouble in Little China.
I got the 4K of Big Trouble in Little China. Like, just having a sick activity and passing time together, that is what a fucking true conversation is. Like, that is like connection, and eventually you'll have those real convos, but it's like, it happens when you're not expecting it. No. It sometimes just randomly happens. Like, I feel like we have just been like playing Mario Tennis, and we've had a profound discussion about you, like when you were still thinking about, when it's just like, hey, I think I literally was just like, why haven't you proposed to your girlfriend yet? Like, out of nowhere, it just kind of felt right. And we had a legit, not making any eye contact. I'm boo. Hitting my I'm serving. I'm doing the weird boo serve. He's fucking Waluigi. We're not looking at each other's eyes, and we're having one of the deepest conversations of our lives.
Yeah, one of my best friends, we were wasted at his mom's lake house, and we ended up like hugging with life vests on in the lake. After like we were like drunk having a conversation. And I was like, I fucking love you, man. Like, this is when it happens.
That's when it happens.
While we're treading water.
It's when it happens. So like,
it is so funny to me. Now I'm wading into some dangerous territory here. I support.
we're all good choice. Here. Everyone knows that about Stavvy's world.
Yeah, I am into whatever you want to do, no matter what. I could. It comes from a little bit of I could give a shit.
Totally. But that's the most important thing we all forgetting. At the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck. What anyone is doing if they don't bother me.
Yeah, if they're not hurting anyone else. So, but it is wild to want to be a man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that seems like a crazy thing of hey, I finally realized my dream of being a man, and now I'm a man, and you guys are kind of fucking lame. And it's oh, brother, I could have said, welcome aboard the Titanic the day you started whatever system you started. Because what you're describing is real. It is what we are. Like, I'll be in couples therapy, and my couples therapist will straight up say shit like, that's what guys are like to my wife. And it's like, it is kind of crazy to say that in 2024.
Look, it just
but
is,
there are
lady.
some universal truths. For some reason, little boys like trucks. And, for some reason, big boys don't like eye contact.
Yeah. So that's really, if there is a secret, it's like, hang out, play video games. Like the best times when me, Eldest, and our friends that we've known for 15 years hang out. What we always do is that we come over, like maybe we'll go out to dinner or whatever, but otherwise we'll come over to my apartment because I have the best setup for watching movies. We will watch a stupid movie.
The single guy with a pretty good paying job.
Exactly. I'm the rich guy. I'm the rich single guy. And so we come to my place. We watch my sick projector. We order Chinese food. We call each other gay. We say our dicks are small. And then like for 1 second we'll be like, oh, whatever happened to that girl? It's like, she's a fucking bitch, dude. And then we're like, all right, well, back to the movie. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. And those are my best friends in the world.
Guys I've been friends with for 32 years. When we get together, we play video games and then just say random kids we went to school with's full names. Just to like surprise each other. Have you thought of this guy? When's the last time you thought of this? Be like, Michael Carter. And you're like, oh, fuck that freak.
And then you look him up, you're like, he's fucking, oh, damn, his wife's hot.
He was another cop that shot a guy. The 5th guy we looked up from our high school that was a cop who's been fired.
Oh, fuck. But hey, man, that's what it's like. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to a literal... It's honestly I'm a little honored that someone is choosing to jump to this team. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Welcome. If you're ever around me, just fire off like what movie you watched recently, and I can talk to you. Honestly, I have like friends of mine who I'm like, I officiated their wedding, and I just show up, and when I see them, I go, I saw Y2K today. It was hysterical. And they're like, oh, I want to see The Brutalist. It's like, oh, I want to see, and we just say that for like 40 minutes. It's like, it was so good hanging out with Jimmy.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome.
That looks fucking sick, dude. We should see that. You don't see it together.
Right now.
But yeah, if you come up with a little bit of I think that's so much more valuable of what the team is missing is a little planning. In my experience, like how many times if one of us had, and we have a friend who actually is like, he sometimes will plan something, or he'll be like, should we go to this restaurant? And like, we're all
if he
pumped.
makes the res, you're like,
we're like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Or he'll be like, that's always a fun move too, is like, hey, no pressure. I got tickets to this. And then sometimes half of us come, sometimes all of us go. That's the other thing, is like, it's got to be no pressure. It can't be direct, and it's got to be a fun thing.
Yeah.
And then you just got, it's quality time with the bros. That's what it is.
I'm that guy. My wife tells me I have camp counselor energy because I'm always the guy that's like, I looked it up. Billy Joel is playing this Friday in Vegas. If we go on Thursday, we can do blank, blank, and blank. We do crabs. We can eat at Yardbird. We can do that. And they're like, all right, I'm in. And I'm like,
sign me
click,
up.
click, click.
Yeah.
I'm fucking high at a computer all the time. It's so easy to be like, I can make plans.
Totally, dude. No, in a different world, you'd be a lifeguard / travel agent.
Oh,
on the Long Island Sound.
Ain't much island left for an islander like me.
But yeah, good luck, bro.
Welcome aboard the Titanic.
Yeah. That's good. We're rooting for you.
It's
Let us
a great
know.
time to be a white guy. Smart move.
Yeah. It's swinging back, actually. It's swinging back. All right. Yeah. Congrats to you as well as us for Trump's Trump getting elected.
It's a great time
I know
to
it's
be
a
a
little
white
bittersweet for you, but still a guy now, so it's actually sick.
complicated.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
But yeah, that's gonna do it, John, dude. Thank you so much. This was so fun.
Dude, Stavvy, this was a blast. I'm so glad we got to hang, dude.
Hit us up when you're in New York, dude. I know you're probably if you're back on the island and you're coming into Queens, dude. We're in Astoria. It's not you don't even have to fully get into the city.
I don't even have to go over water.
That's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.